Der Anschlag stinkt! David, erinnern mich nicht!
I don't know what the hell's in there. It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter
Time to next fucking couch!
What do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while? See what happens.
You heard it up top. Get the rare discussion of the master of horror as we start to cover a special topic where you might start seeing double. That's right. It's John Carpenter's The Thing here on Normies Like Us with your hosts, Giles or Chileslin.
All right.
Sure.
Mike Creedy.
And this is Thing Jacob.
The dog.
I got my little thing dog right here. Hopefully
Oh.
she doesn't start,
Mm-hmm.
freaking out, turning into some kind of monster.
I hope not.
Because we're
Kind
talking the thing, of
some
course.
sort?
The
Yes.
Thing from outer space.
Here's the thing, as we like to say when we're playing
Mhm.
Marvel Rivals.
That's right. It's clobbering time. Not that kind of thing.
This is a different thing altogether. Correct.
Although this thing will clobber you too.
It could probably
you don't watch
clobber,
out.
yeah, if it wanted to. I was
Yeah.
just thinking, we've done 3 now in a row movies of sort of trapped in one place vibes, or like single location movie kind of vibes. The hotel, the mall, and now the Antarctic base. So I thought that's an interesting commonality that just kind of
Very
happened to be.
Very
Yeah.
true. Absolutely.
But I like to think.
But yeah, we're continuing our Spooktober, and we did talk 60s with Psycho, of course. We talked 70s with Dawn of the Dead, and now we're going into the swinging 80s, baby. It's Reaganomics.
Yep.
That's right. The 80s, a great decade for film, I think. Maybe, actually things were pretty good in the 80s. I wasn't alive, but
We were
I think
getting
they were-
close.
I was
yeah,
getting close to being alive. Yeah, at this
Yeah.
point.
I was conceived in the late 80s.
Right. I was born in the late 88, so I got the tail end. But a lot of media I
There you go.
consumed when I was young was from the 80s,
I'm a
Yeah.
90s baby, of course.
And as I said up top, this is our return to A Man We Love. It's another John Carpenter. Jacob, you're wearing your Halloween shirt. We did
Of course, I had to.
huge marathon 2 spooktaculars ago, I want to say, where we watched every Halloween movie and reviewed them on this podcast.
That's
Yep,
right.
I think 2 or so ago. That's a fun episode. Yeah, we love Johnny C.
That's right. I famously love the Rob Zombie films, as do we all.
Yes.
And Season of the Witch, Halloween 3.
bragging.
Yeah, right.
We all love Halloween 3. We all love the original, of course, the classic. And John Carpenter, one of my favorite directors of all time. I want to know your guys' history, your opinions on John Carpenter, and have you seen all of his films? Have you seen some of his films? Let me hear it.
I haven't seen all of them. I'm gonna pull up a list, but I love Halloween. Obviously, I love that franchise. I like The Thing.
You don't
I
need
have
to see
seen
all
this
of them.
before. But I like his work, and I also like that he does the music, and I like that now he's just like, I want to play video games. I like him as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and smoke weed and
Basically, yeah,
Mhm.
retired John Carpenter. He sits at home, plays video games, smokes weed, plays music with his son, and probably has a great time. So we should all be so lucky to spend our
jealous.
retirements that way.
you guys in LA, you could see him. He typically will play around Halloween time, some LA
Right.
venues.
Oh,
Right.
nice. Yeah, that's cool. I've seen Big Trouble in Little China. I haven't seen Escape from New York or LA, so the Snake Plissken character I only know by proxy through Metal Gear. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. But I like John Carpenter. What about you, Colin?
I love John Carpenter. I'm with Jacob. He's one of my 2 favorite directors, the other being David Lynch, and I think
Right.
they're kind of similar in that they're dirty boys, Midwest dirty boys who make weirdo dirty films. And I think inarguably this is his best movie, although it's not my favorite movie. That's Escape from New York, because I think that's just so singularly
Yes.
weird and interesting and cool.
Absolutely. Obviously, Kojima would agree with you. He loves that movie, I'm sure.
Yay.
But yeah,
Oh, you-
John Carpenter. He made Halloween in '78, and then from '78 to let me look at his filmography. I want to say '78 through the '80s, so '78 to '88. If you just look at those 10 years, he had Halloween, The Fog, Escape from New York, The Thing, Christine, Starman, Big Trouble in Little China, Prince of Darkness, They Live.
They Live.
That's all in
yeah.
a decade. Yeah. So I think
They
that
Live,
was
too.
easily his peak of his career. And he kind of falls off starting in the 90s, I think. But what an 80s for John Carpenter. I think what a decade.
Yeah. And I believe he said that The Thing is his favorite movie that he's made.
Yeah.
So that's notable.
It was,
I guess.
yeah, it was misunderstood when it came out. Like a lot of cult classics, it was not very well received when it was released. It wasn't reviewed well. People didn't like it. It was very strange. And but obviously now beloved and yeah, considered his best film. I think it is his best film. I don't know if it's my favorite because it's between this, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China is a lot of fun. And I even really like Prince of Darkness too. I think that's another one, potential Spooktober movie in the future too, because that's a really fun one.
Is there any special reason, Jacob, you chose this as your spooktacular entry this year?
Well, as you pointed out, Colin, off pod, it kind of has a connection to my last year's selection, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, as they're both remakes of 50s sci-fi films that are about alien invaders taking over and replacing people. So they're very similar movies in that way, and they're both, late 70s or 80s remakes of 50s sci-fi, which I think is interesting.
So we're getting a backdoor cover of the 50s. So we've done 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, just because we're doing something that's a remake. Have you seen the original?
Right.
The Thing from Another World, or have either you seen that?
I have not seen it. No, I have not seen it.
I saw it. Colin, have you seen it? I watched it for this, just out of curiosity, because I had never seen it.
I watched in elementary school. I told that story before about having a teacher who was like, you can choose a paper to write a paper about a movie based on communism. And the choice was that it was Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Dr. No, the first James Bond film.
Gotcha.
But Mike, what did you think?
From Another World. Well, I just want to say it was directed by Christian Nyby, but sort of unofficially directed by Howard Hawks, who's like John Carpenter's all-time favorite director, Howard Hawks. He loves Howard Hawks, and so I think that's partially why he wanted to make this.
And of course, it is the movie Jamie Lee Curtis is watching in Halloween as she is babysitting.
Yes,
correct. No, that's a good point. It's very different. It's like 50s Hollywood, so it's a bunch of dudes talking like this in one day. And it's like a plant vampire. It doesn't assimilate.
Kind of alien.
Yeah,
that's one more dame than is in this movie.
Correct. Yeah.
Think about it. Very male movie.
Well, but it's weird though. It's like a plant vampire. It's like a plant-based vampire. It doesn't assimilate people, and they just kind of burn it and electrocute it. But it is like the spaceship lands, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So structurally, it's kind of similar, but it's John Carpenter really took it in his own
it's
direction.
Mostly shot in like complete darkness, right? You barely see the sort of like Peter Boyle in Young Frankenstein looking makeup job that is the Thing vegetable creature, right?
Yeah, it's like dudes sitting in a room talking about like what are we finding? What could this thing be? And then it busts through a door for 2 minutes and runs away, and then 20 minutes of talking in a room, and then it busts through a door and runs away.
Wow.
But I'll talk about
it. Sounds a lot like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. Well, you saw of course, you saw all three things for this, correct?
Correct. I watched the prequel from 2011 with Mary Elizabeth Winstead because a couple years ago I watched all of her horror movies, if we remember. Final Destination, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Death Proof.
That's right.
But so I watched all three of them in preparation for this. We're going to be focusing on the John Carpenter, but I thought it would be interesting to look at the
Birds of Prey.
The breadth. Yeah, well, not a horror movie, but yeah, I would love her in that. The Huntress. Good stuff.
But
yeah.
Yeah, obviously the prequel, 2011 prequel, also called The Thing. I watched that as well because I watched 1982 The Thing, and then I watched that last night, and then today I was watching the prequel, 2011 The Thing, which I have seen before, so it was a rewatch, but I wanted to watch it for this pod as well. It's a movie that I have mixed feelings about because I don't think it's a terrible movie. It just had the potential to be better, and it falls short because of studio decisions, which I can talk a little bit about too.
Yeah, a lot of studio meddling, but I will say watching it the first time I watched it, I didn't watch it back to back with The Thing, and I rated it pretty low. And then watching it this time, even with the studio meddling, it raised my rating on it by at least a full star. So,
Wow.
Let me ask you
just
this:
having the knowledge, yeah.
Did you watch it and then The Thing, or which order did you watch it in? Like, did you watch the prequel first, or did you watch the
Right.
prequel second?
I watched the prequel second because I wanted to have all the context of the
Yeah.
classic
Yeah.
and to see what were their Easter eggs and tie-ins that I maybe missed the first
Right.
time.
Yeah,
I think it
you
is
got to know
more
who
clever.
Anakin is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I watched
No,
it.
that's what I did as well. I watched the prequel after watching John Carpenter's The Thing. But technically you could watch them. You could watch the prequel first, and then it would be like one unbroken movie essentially, because it leads directly into John Carpenter's The Thing. Although it does take some of the mystery out of John Carpenter's The Thing if you've already seen.
Right.
We have a friend, and I am ironically wearing the shirt that will promote this, but we have a
Back to the
friend,
Future.
past guest of this podcast, Cole from our Fast and the Furious episodes, edited Back to the Future Part 1 and Part 2 into one movie, and then we watched it on the day that was the day Marty McFly came to the future. Like, what was it, 2016 or whatever, 2018 or whatever?
Yeah, sure.
That's cool.
2015.
2015 maybe. Jacob, I would kill to watch a movie that edited these films into one long film. That was the prequel
Well, it
of
would
the
be-
Thing into this. I know they would look a
It'd be very
little
easy.
odd,
No,
obviously.
it would
but
actually
it would be very
because
easy. Yeah.
You've seen it too, of course. And this movie literally ends with the Norwegian helicopter chasing the dog, how this movie begins. So literally you could do a direct edit and just make it one long movie if you really wanted to. It goes from, it would just go from CGI effects to awesome practical effects. But that's all right.
But that's all right. Yeah. Now I might note here and there when we're talking about the classic, like things that I appreciated more about the prequel or whatever, anytime that I kind of had a improved impression on it. But yeah, I enjoyed doing kind of the Thing universe because that's how good this movie is. I was like, give me more, even if it's slightly worse or made in the 50s. Just give me more. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think the prequel, again, I think it's not terrible. Like I do enjoy it as a movie. Actually, I just wanted to read a little bit of something from its Wikipedia, the prequel. And this is under the section entitled Studio Mandated Reshoots, which is never a good section to have on your movie's Wikipedia. But essentially the studio decided to do reshoots because they had test screenings shown to focus groups, and the reaction to which the studio interpreted as negative. In response, many scenes involving character development were either cut from the film or reshot to be shortened, as the studio disliked the slow boil pace of the film. Another concern was that the use of practical effects made the film look too much, quote, like an 80s movie. In response, the decision was made to replace most of the film's practical effects with CGI. So
It
literally,
is
they took
an
like
80s movie.
they took the two things that I like about The Thing and said, no, we're changing those, because originally the prequel was shot mostly with practical effects as much as they could do with some CGI augmented effects. But in post, they decided to replace pretty much the majority of the practical effects with CGI, which is, I think, a bummer. Yeah,
And it's clearly not mentioned there, but I would give a third point to you, Jacob, that maybe Mike would disagree with. But I would argue that the inclusion of Mary Elizabeth Winstead is clearly a studio note of, we gotta have a woman in this fucking movie.
Yeah, well, that was probably, I don't think she was she was in the original shoot, but the funny thing is with this film is like, it's about the Norwegians that we hear about in the beginning of this movie, but then of course they had to write in a bunch of Americans because we can't just have the movie be about Norwegians. That no one will want to see
in
that.
Norwegian the whole movie. Yeah.
No, we need Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Joel Edgerton, but still
and
not
that guy from CSI. The thing with that one, before we get into the classic, is it feels like a modern studio noted movie where the classic is like John Carpenter just made a crazy thing and it's John Carpenter's thing. Like it feels like an individual artist's kind of work, and that's what makes it.
But to make a legacy sequel or prequel like this and then just like discard everything that makes the original great is just like such a bummer. And the director, sorry if I mispronounced this, Matthijs van Heijningen Jr. who directed the prequel, has since expressed regret over replacing the film's practical effects with CG, saying, "I know this is a debated topic, but looking back, we were caught in a cross zone where animatronics were old-fashioned and CGI wasn't good enough. We made the wrong decision to do it in post-production when it came to making the monster design in the computer. I regret that now." And he was a huge, I mean, of course, he's a huge fan of the original and a huge fan of John Carpenter, is trying to make it as close to the original as he could. So I'm sure that was a bummer. And they even had effects guys. They had Amalgamated Dynamics doing the effects, which has done a bunch of other practical effects and stuff. And all that got replaced. So it's just a bummer. It just had a potential to be a really great film, and it kind of falls short, I think.
Yeah, and the guy quit Hollywood movie making. He's like, this was a nightmare, and so he just gave up on it. Unfortunately,
it's a bummer. That's what the studio system does to you. You know, it chews you up and spits you out.
But if you like the classic thing, I think there's value to be had with watching it, even though it has flaws. So that's where I leave it. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're talking 1982, The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Do you want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's jump on into it.
Let's thaw this
Let me
ice.
get my flamethrower.
We're back here on Normies Like Us, where we're continuing week 3 of Spooktacular with Jacob's pick, The Thing, John Carpenter's masterpiece, people argue. Or at least that is what we were supposed to be talking about. Now I'm not so sure. I was doing that with my buddies and my hosts here, but they stepped away for a moment, and I'm not positive I can trust that they are still my co-hosts.
I don't know if I can trust you.
I don't know if I can trust you guys.
Here's the thing. I know I'm not one of those things. And if Mike and Jacob were those things, they would have killed me by now. So at least one of you ain't those things.
That's right. So I do want to say up top, Jacob's got his Halloween shirt. I always try to find some gimmick, right? Like we were black and white for Psycho. And I couldn't think of anything. And then I realized, you know what? For my boy McCreary, I have never had this in my life. So I went and got
some J&B.
Some J&B. I got a little ice glass. And this is going to be
some whiskey, play some computer chess.
Yeah, so there we go. And this will be a prop in the background now for the viewers. So J&B, brought to you by J&B.
This is one of those performances. We're going to talk about R.J. McCready, who's one of the greatest characters of all time. It's the actor Kurt Russell, who I want to explore. First off, we talked a little bit about John Carpenter. Let's talk about his number one player, his best friend, right? Kurt Russell. Now, guys, he plays a dirty helicopter pilot in a place full of men. But I would argue to you guys, I want to know your opinion. Is this the best a human being has ever looked in their lives?
It's very possible.
I don't know.
He's great in this.
If that's your type, yeah.
Yeah.
Bear man.
He's a man's man. He's a real man's man. He's a helicopter
kill
pilot.
Me.
Bro's got a great beard. He always has.
He's that thick hair. He's truly movie star handsome.
Yeah. What about Snake Plissken, when he's wearing his tactical gear and everything?
Well, I like the thing about Snake Plissken, Jacob, that snake tattoo on his chest, the tail goes all the way down. So you got to wonder, what's that junk looking like? I don't want to see no tattooed up, messed up junk dog.
No.
I'm definitely wondering that.
Plissken snake.
Kurt Russell, who worked with John Carpenter a couple times, of course, Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China, which is a more comedic role, and that's a fun one too because he's not doing just a serious badass thing. He's almost doing a caricature of his normal John Carpenter role in that movie, where he's like a
John Wayne, like a John Wayne parody almost. But
in that movie, it's so funny because he's tries to be the badass, but then a lot of times just ends up like kind of being incompetent and then getting showed up by some of the other characters in the movie. So
it's a perfect movie.
Kind of an inversion of the trope in a way. But has a relationship with John Carpenter, obviously. Also starred in his Elvis TV movie that he made pretty early on in his career. We love.
I'm a Kurt Russell fan.
Yeah.
Huge Kurt Russell fan. Just a little fact I love to throw out. Kurt Russell, a person who has been in the business so long, he's been acting literally since he was 3 years old. His father, Bing Russell, was a minor actor and then, of course, owned a minor league baseball team watch the documentary The Battered Bastards of Baseball. Kurt Russell played for that baseball team. Truly a completely insane family. But so young, he of course acted with Elvis in movies and things like that as like as a little
That's
boy.
wild.
So like the guy is just truly like, that is why he's in that John Carpenter Elvis movie. He's like, I knew Elvis. Like, I'm the guy who could do this performance. And they're like, yeah, I guess so. And of course, the craziest fact about him, because he eventually became, as a teenager, a contract star for live action Disney movies, the most famous being The Computer That Wore Tennis Shoes. The most famous fact about him of all time during that period, when Walt Disney died, his last words, of course, were Kurt Russell.
Oh, that's right. The last
Really?
thing he written down was Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Yes, he was
Walt
reported to just say, and one more thing, Kurt Russell, and then he died. So clearly, he was like having an idea
was
for
gonna
like
cast
a
him in a movie?
movie he should
No,
be
he was
in.
gonna
Yeah,
leave
like,
his
When
empire
did
to
Walt
Kurt
Disney
Russell.
die?
I have
What
no idea.
year?
70s, 73 or something,
73,
maybe.
74?
That's
I don't know.
wild.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Kurt Russell, he was a child actor, right? So he was
Mhm.
acting from a young age. Yeah, like you said, The Computer That Wore Tennis Shoes, 1969.
Wow.
That's amazing. Now you
You've never
see
seen
him, now
that?
you
It's
don't.
truly horrible.
I've not seen
And
it.
the strongest man in the world.
Mhm.
Right, but then I'm a fan of his son Wyatt Russell. They did that Godzilla movie or TV show where they played the same character years apart.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they need him and they need to get those two and Bill Pullman and Lewis Pullman, and they should put the four of them in a movie together about two fathers and sons.
Well, do you guys
Going on
like
a
the other
camping trip
side
or
of
something.
him?
Well, they should make a movie that's has the past and the future, and they play the young versions. Then
Oh,
the older.
I disagree with all this.
We
Do
can
you guys
reboot the
like
thing with
the
Wyatt.
other,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I would like that. Do you guys like the other side of him, and that do you like Goldie Hawn and do you like Kate Hudson?
I don't know enough about Goldie Hawn and Kate Hudson really, except for the Santa Claus movie.
How does Kate Hudson come into it?
Isn't that Goldie Hawn's daughter?
Oh wow.
Oh, is it? I'm
Oliver
not sure.
Oliver Hudson and Kate Hudson?
Oh.
Isn't Kurt Russell her stepdad? Right?
Oh, so yeah,
Oh,
her
okay.
and Wyatt Russell are half siblings. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Wyatt
I didn't know
Russell's the
that
only
either.
natural kid, I believe, that her and Goldie have. Otherwise, it's like this huge melting pot feeling. I think Kurt Russell has a couple kids from before he met Goldie.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay.
Interesting Thanksgiving.
And well, the amazing thing is that obviously Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell have been together since 1983 and are still together, and they're happily married. So we're very happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt Russell seems like a great guy. I just kind of don't look at his politics section of
yeah.
whatever. He's a bit of a right wing guy, but he generally keeps his opinions to himself. So he's a very pro gun rights guy. So what are you gonna do? But
Well, if you
we love
encounter
him.
space aliens and get trapped in New York and like encounter ancient Chinese
He's
evil,
pro
like, you're gonna
flamethrower.
want a gun.
Yeah.
Do a quick Google search for me. See what he had to say about old Charlie. I gotta
Oh,
check
whoa.
what
He
Kurt's
probably
opinion.
didn't say anything because
Okay.
basically on his Wikipedia it does say like he's a libertarian, but he believes celebrities should keep their political opinions to themselves.
Mm.
So he
Okay.
probably doesn't make too many public statements about that kind of thing, I would say.
Hmm.
But like Charlton Heston, he's a big gun guy, of course, and we love Charlton Heston.
Yeah,
Those
sure.
damn
we love
dirty
Planet of
apes.
the Apes, those damn dirty apes. But
Another
we got damn
sci-fi
dirty
hero.
things to deal with now.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is an all-time performance, I think, from him, though. Like, I'm mesmerized. Every second he's on screen in this movie is incredible. This McCreary character, man, yeah. This crazy cowboy hat. We got another helicopter movie, too, after Dawn of the Dead. We're going crazy.
That's right. Helicopters
Yeah.
are very important to have in any kind of apocalyptic situation.
You were
Too
right.
bad
yeah.
about all those movie jokes I made last time. Take all those back. I
Oh
apologize.
no.
Thanks.
I need to learn how to
Fly boy?
fly a helicopter. Yeah, I'm gonna become a fly boy.
It's useful.
But of course, yeah, the cast of the thing, we have, of course, Kurt Russell. We have mostly a bunch of character actors, not a bunch of big names, but we do have a young man named Wilford Brimley.
Young man.
A young man.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is Wilford Brimley was not really a a known thing yet when he was cast in The Thing. Actually, The Thing was kind of his breakout role, and then he did Cocoon in '85. But The Thing was sort of his break into the mainstream as an actor. So we got Wilford Brimley, we got Keith David, of course, another early
First
role.
role.
Yeah,
Oh wow, nice.
first role. Yeah, who obviously would work again with John Carpenter in They Live. And then pretty much a bunch of other character actors.
Ralph's at some point.
That's right, my old grocery store buddy Keith David. We run into each other all the time at the grocery store.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey, are you
Those
the Thing?
cucumbers are on sale.
I like what's his community thing? Like, I love encouraging white people.
Yeah,
Right.
the best.
Just going up and giving them some encouragement.
Think about it all the time.
Mhm.
But we love Keith David as well. And then mostly the other actors I'm not too familiar with. A lot of different
Yeah.
character actors. I believe he did want to cast what's his name from Halloween, Dr. Loomis.
Oh, good lord.
Oh yeah.
Donald
his name?
Pleasance, really?
Donald Pleasance, yeah.
Yeah, John Carpenter wanted to cast Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, but he was too drunk.
I
True.
read something earlier. I forget what it said, but the studio didn't want Donald Pleasance. Like, I think in the Wilford Brimley role was going to be Donald Pleasance, who did work a couple times with.
Now, the interesting thing, of course, is that this movie isn't exactly shot on location, but it is shot in like extreme weather conditions. If I'm not wrong, I believe it's shot in Alaska. Is that correct? And then some other sort of outdoor depots.
Some of it was on location in cold weather. I did read that some of like the inside stuff they shot on sets in LA, and it was like really hot outside in LA, but they climate controlled the sets to be like 25 degrees or something.
That's
So it was really cold
crazy.
on the sets, so they could have realistic like breath and stuff like that.
That's
but
fun.
outside it was like 90 degrees.
Right.
I remember a story that John Carpenter told, because it is funny to think about like bringing Donald Pleasance or any of these, like an older actor of any kind. Like, thank God they do get like weird young character actors and people like Kurt Russell and
Keith David.
Who will put up with this stuff. But supposedly John Carpenter contributes him having skin cancer to this film. The intense reflections off the snow, the sunlight rays hitting your face, when they were on these sort of polar escapades to shoot this film. And we'll say things like, that's the reason I'm so fucked up looking now, man, because I got all that skin cancer and The Thing ruined my life, man. Nobody liked that movie and it almost fucking killed me, man. And you're like, oh, like he's so bitter about this movie now. And when people come up and tell him, like, no, don't you understand? It's been reclaimed as a masterpiece. It's considered your best film. He's like, great, then pay me the fucking money for it. And you're just like,
Right.
oh.
Yeah, he's bitter about a lot of stuff in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the director of the original Thing did not like his version, and then it's like, man, that's a bummer for him too. It's like, this is my favorite movie. What the hell?
That sucks.
Yeah, he really had it rough. There's also
I'll tell
Dr.
you,
Voorhees in that movie, by the way. Like, I gotta find Dr. Voorhees, and I'm like, oh, that's
interesting.
Another
nice
horror
little
thing.
homage there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give you some casting tidbits here. They wanted to keep their options open for McCready. They could the studio considered Christopher Walken, Jeff Bridges, Nick Nolte, Sam Shepard. Tom Atkins was considered, who of course worked with John Carpenter. He was in Halloween 3, and he was also in The Fog. By the way,
I
have to mention I did also watch The Fog a couple nights ago before The Thing, which I think is a good lead in to this movie because it's John Carpenter's The Fog, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, and also her mother, Janet Leigh, from Psycho, as the mayor of the town in The Fog. So you have Janet Leigh, Jamie Lee Curtis. So we have that Psycho connection. Also, it was I had to mention this. It was Hal Holbrook is in The Fog, and it was my second Hal Holbrook movie in a row because the night before that I watched All the President's Men, R.I.P. Robert Redford, and he played, of course, the mysterious Deep Throat in All the President's Men.
These are some stretches, my friend. I'm loving all this, but
let me tie it all together.
Yes,
so
land this helicopter.
All the
Reddit,
President's
I love
Men.
it.
Hal Holbrook, who was also in The Fog. Who else was in All the President's Men? Martin Balsam, who plays Inspector Arbogast in Psycho. So it's all
Okay.
tied together, you see.
Goes all the way to the
Wow.
top.
It does.
But I'm always playing the Kevin Bacon game in my head.
Turns
Yeah,
out
for all you Kevin
a-
Bacon heads, you got some good connections there.
the
Yeah,
sick
I love
one.
to. I'd love to do this.
Anchor.
It's kind of an obsession of mine. I think my mom took too much Tylenol when she was
yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah.
With me.
I'm worried. I'm calling RFK Jr.
Yeah.
But I had to mention that because I thought, oh, that's so weird. 2 Hal Holbrook movies in a row and the Janet Leigh connection. So,
I
anyways,
love it.
Again, so they met with a bunch of people to play McCready, Brian Dennehy, Chris Christopherson, Ed Harris, Tom Berenger, just a million different actors. Tom Atkins, like I said.
I'll just cast my best friend.
Mhm.
Okay.
Originally, the actor was going to pay $50,000, but after the more established Russell was cast, his salary increased to $400,000.
That's nice.
Okay, so they're trying to save money.
Is that
Carl
worth it to be that
Weathers.
cold all the time?
Carl Weathers was among the actors considered for Childs, the Keith David role,
Mhm.
as well as Isaac Hayes, who of course was in Escape from New York, and Ernie Hudson, who was the front runner until they cast Keith David. So that's kind of interesting.
There's a lot of
And John Carpenter wanted to cast Donald Pleasance, but it was decided he was too recognizable to accommodate the role. So there you go. He was too recognizable, probably from Halloween.
He was
gotcha.
gone.
Look at Wilford Brimley.
And one more.
New upstart.
Yeah, one last casting fact. For the role of Palmer, who has some comedic moments, he's the assistant mechanic who's like smoking weed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in comedians Jay Leno and Gary Shandling.
No, not Jay Leno.
So you can imagine Jay Leno in this movie.
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? It's an alien, but he turns into you.
So that's all the casting.
Palmer
facts I
is
have
the
for you.
guy who says, we got to kill this thing, isn't it?
I believe so.
I think he might be.
No, it's the radio guy.
Yeah.
I have an issue with this movie with the characters' names, sort of like the Dawn of the Dead. I can't remember anybody's names a lot of the time, except for like Child.
No, it is hard to
I
remember.
agree.
McCready and
But I'd give
Child.
anything for a Flyboy, Mike. I mean, the
Blair.
nicknames in Dawn of the Dead are just top tier.
Yeah, at least have Flyboy.
Flyboy, Fly Girl.
News Girl. Yeah.
All right, you nailed it.
Yep.
But yeah, we have an all male cast, no women in this movie. A very masculine movie about men turning into things in the Antarctic.
Yeah, well, there's a reading of this that it's kind of an allegory for the AIDS epidemic at the time, transmission through blood or saliva, that kind of thing. Hence the blood test metaphor. So
yeah,
a bunch of dudes.
Of course, the communism.
Yeah.
From the original '50s one, the sort of anti-communist reading of
Red Scare.
that and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, of course, all those kind of movies.
Yep.
But if you ask John Carpenter about it, he'd probably be like, "No, man, I just made a movie that I thought was good. I didn't think about that kind of shit."
Yeah.
Maybe next time, Jacob, maybe you do Cronenberg's The Fly.
That's a good one. Another great practical effects
remake too.
Movie. Yeah.
Interesting.
I love 80s remakes of 50s sci-fi. Always good.
Yeah, it's an interesting era. But we get a paranoia spectacle, sort of like The Fog, a movie of people freaking out because they don't know who they could trust.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
And of course, this is originally based on the 50s movie was also based on the horror novella Who Goes There by John W. Campbell.
And I did not read that in my preparation for this.
Mike.
I know. I
completist.
Dropped the ball at the 1 yard line. I'm sorry.
We should watch The Fog. Not a great film, but it's got that Janet Leigh connection.
Well, I'll throw it to another one though. An absolute Mike classic, The Faculty. I've heard you definitely say you love The Faculty.
Yeah, I know. It's like this in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think I made that
right
connection.
Slither, James Gunn.
They would say
Slither.
Josh Hartnett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Janet Leigh. The connections are all there, man.
That's right.
H2O.
But yeah, we Alien taking over people movies, always fun.
This is probably one of the best to ever do it, like this in Body Snatchers. So I was pretty stoked to rewatch
Yeah.
this, even though I'd seen it again.
Again, this movie released in 1982 to negative reviews. Critics praised the special effects but criticized their visual repulsiveness, while others found the characters poorly realized. Many reasons have been cited for this failure to impress audiences, mainly competition from films such as E.T., the Extraterrestrial.
That's right.
So you had two competing alien movies, very
Yeah.
different in tone, obviously, at the same time there.
Like, no, we want
so maybe
cute
that
aliens.
kind of affected it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah,
like
for
scary
kids,
aliens.
it's like for adults.
If
That's right.
ET's like chest suddenly opened up and it was like a giant mouth and it started grabbing you and
What are we gonna
stuff.
do, ET? I'll kill them. No.
No, ET, please.
He's assimilating all the
So I think
Reese's
that's
Pieces.
interesting. Basically,
Yeah.
Spielberg ruined this movie's success because he put out ET at the same time.
I say
Well-
let's dive into the plot of this thing.
Yes.
Now, this is a film that I watched the Blu-ray of. It's on Peacock. It is available streaming. It seems like it's always kind of out there. It's a film that is maybe in my top 5 of I've seen it more than any other film in my life. This was maybe 5,015th viewing. Like truly, it feels so familiar to me. I got nothing new out of it this time, like with any sort of different perspective or fresh eyes, but I certainly enjoyed it to the maximum level that I always do.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen it a ton of times. This is maybe my third time ever seeing it. Like, I like it a lot and I hold it in high esteem, but I did take a lot more away from it, and I really appreciate kind of the structure. I think the writing is way sharper than maybe people realized when it came out, because I think this is a very smart and sharp and tight movie. And yeah, I'm just stoked to talk about it. I appreciated it a lot more, especially with stuff from the prequel adding to it as well. So yeah, I really appreciate it on a greater level.
Yeah, for me, I've seen it a bunch of times, but I haven't seen it in a while, so it was a good refresh watching it this time. So I did really appreciate it.
And spoilers
Yeah,
for the
let's-
thing,
let's-
1982, and probably the prequel. Let's
Of
jump in.
course, yes.
I love
let's
the
jump
opening.
in.
Where it's McCreary, he's got his J&B in the foreground, and he's drinking whiskey, playing this chess game. And then when he's about to lose, cheating bitch, he pours his whiskey in the machine and blows it up. And it's like, initially, why would you do that? Other people are going to use this machine. But the metaphor of that's McCreary. When he knows he's going to lose, he blows it all up.
Yeah, I think
Kobayashi
this is,
Maru.
Right. It's a great introduction to his character because, like you said, you had that interaction and he's playing chess with the computer, and he thinks he has the computer beat because he's like, this idiot computer. I forget what he says exactly, but he's like, he must be going crazy or something because he thinks he's got the move, and then the computer's like, checkmate, and he's like, cheating bitch, and it tells you everything you need to know about the character up front
and how he handles adverse situations. Yeah.
This is the one female character in the movie, the voice of this computer. It is, of course, Jamie Lee
Curtis.
There we go. Nice.
Doing a favor for old friend John Carpenter. And again, she was also in The Fog. So
Carpenter.
3 early Carpenter movies.
I also want to say
so,
that the director of the original didn't like it, and he said, it's a really great JB commercial. But I'm going to argue that this is JB is Chekhov's gun in this movie, and by the time we get to the end, it's really important. The JB is really important, I swear. And I'll break that down as we go along.
Yeah. And this movie, it's a very cynical movie. It's sort of a pessimistic, has a pessimistic outlook on life, and the ending, of course, is very just depressing, I guess. And it's also the first in John Carpenter's unofficial Apocalypse trilogy, with that being The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. So I kind of want to talk about Prince of Darkness next year,
nice.
Because I really like that movie too.
This did feel like an apocalypse movie, even though they're just isolated on a base. Like, whereas Dawn of the Dead, it's like clearly an apocalypse. It had the feeling of that claustrophobia and kind of the paranoia. Like, it does feel like the world is ending, even though it's like a singular threat to these.
And there was a different ending originally written, which I'll talk about when we get to the ending. Yeah, we open up on our Antarctic base, and well, actually, we open up first.
Well,
We
truly,
see
we open
Yeah.
wide on the helicopter. Yeah,
we see the spaceship. First of all, right?
true.
We
Coming
see
to
a
Earth.
flying saucer in outer space.
I always forget that the first shot of this movie is completely bonkers. It's just a
Spaceship.
matte painting of the Earth while a comet spaceship goes like whoosh.
Yeah, and then the title
That's
comes
right.
up. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
Cut
sick
to
Comes
effect.
up or rips through.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Again, John Carpenter. I always think it's smart when directors do this. You got to have good branding as a director, and one way to do that is put your name in front of everything.
Mhm.
John Carpenter's Halloween.
I hate
John
that.
Carpenter's The Thing. It's good marketing though for your brand, which is your name.
George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in these opening credits, we get the hit that it's Ennio Morricone, the greatest Italian composer of all time, who does the score for this film. He, of course, did Once Upon a Time in the West, Rhapsody in Gold. Jacob, I'm sure you're about to say this fact. He is not the person who does this score. It is completely re-recorded by John Carpenter.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Wow.
I was going to say I was surprised when I saw that because I had thought that it was John Carpenter, because of course John Carpenter famously does a lot of his own scores, most of his own scores. In fact, so I was like, oh, that is weird. Ennio Morricone.
Well, Ennio Morricone, an Italian man mostly known for spaghetti westerns. The wildest trivia fact about this score of all time is it's not only replaced by John Carpenter, what we get in this movie, but the score written for this film is then stolen by Tarantino and used in The Hateful Eight, a Western, because he goes, well, this just applies more. And I asked John Carpenter if I could use it. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. I didn't use it.
Yeah. You think Tarantino finds out, wait, there's an unused Ennio Morricone score that I can have?
Like,
I deserve that right now. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that is interesting because I thought when I was watching it, I was like, this is interesting. Ennio Morricone. It sounds like a score that John Carpenter would make. So I thought, oh, is he doing like a it's synth, it's like dun dun dun. It's a lot of one repeating note. If you think about the Halloween score, I just watched The Fog, that has a very similar score. That's kind of John Carpenter's thing, this sort of ambient synth music. So I thought, oh, is Morricone doing like a John Carpenter type score? But that makes a lot of sense. I am reading here that so most of what Morricone wrote was not used for this film, but Carpenter did pick a piece closely resembling his own scores that became the main theme throughout the film.
Cool.
So that's that one sort of
interesting.
Then do the rest. No kidding.
Yeah. Morricone made several more attempts, bringing the score closer to Carpenter's own style of music.
Please, use my score.
In total, he produced a score of approximately 1 hour that remained largely unused, but was later released as part of the film's soundtrack. So there you go.
There you go.
That's very interesting. But of course, still credited in the movie as the composer. So
a nice guy.
But that always blew my mind. John Carpenter, very talented filmmaker, also does his own scores. Wrote the Halloween theme song, one of the most iconic movie themes of all time, probably the most iconic horror theme of all time.
The theme I associate with you, we of course have a friend, Cassie, who has a very small piano. And now when I say small piano, I want you to imagine the teeniest little piano that you've ever seen, a toy piano. And Jacob at parties when he got drunk near Halloween used to go up and do doo 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 doo. It was always such a crowd pleaser.
It's not a hard song to play. It's like 4 notes, but it's iconic all the same. And to think that
he can't do it anymore, his fingers hurt so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course, he's re-recorded a bunch again with his own son. They play like more rock versions of it and stuff with guitars and stuff. So there's been re-releases and stuff. And like every time they make a new Halloween, he gets a check for, re-releasing the score.
I say, ooh, money, 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 money. He's the greatest person to read quotes about.
Basically, his take on sequels to Halloween and franchise films, he's like, hey, whatever they want to do, I put my hand out. They put a check in my hand. I'm like, do what you want,
Fucking pay me, man. I'll sell your shit. I don't care, man.
So he really doesn't care. But just imagine making Halloween one of the most iconic horror movies of all time and making the iconic, famous song from that movie. Like it
Right.
just blows my mind that he did that.
Talk
all.
about
But,
branding, yeah.
yeah.
He can do it all.
But The Thing, yeah, a pretty good score too, a good John Carpenter score. I mean, his music does fit his films very well. Even like Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China has a very fun score. So, yeah.
Yep. But we've got a helicopter and a dog, and we
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. This guy's trying to shoot this dog, and this is another one that I wish I could go into it without knowing anything that was happening, much like Psycho. Like, I wish I could go in with a blank mind and watch it for the first time
Right.
again.
And see, if you did watch the prequel, it would ruin this for you. But again, the scene, the end credits of the prequel is this, these shots of the helicopter chasing the dog, and so it literally leads directly into this movie, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. So this dog runs up to our base. They come out, what's all this commotion? Who's shooting? Whatever. The dog kind of runs up to them, and he's yelling at him in Norwegian, and they don't know what the
Right.
hell's going on, and he just keeps shooting at the dog, and they're like, yo, this guy we got to take this guy out. And that's what they kind of end up doing. Like,
Yeah, he's shooting
what
at the
hell is
dog,
this?
accidentally shoots one of the guys, and then gets shot by Gary, who's the station commander, comes out with his little pistol and shoots.
I would argue shooting the dog, crazy behavior, that is not the reason he is murdered. He is murdered because he brings a box of grenades in that helicopter,
Oh, yeah.
accidentally sets one off, blows up his entire
right, it goes to
helicopter,
throw
and
a
then
thing,
starts
it goes
shooting. And
behind
they're
him.
all just like, okay, this guy has to die.
These
It's a
crazy
crazy
Norwegians.
opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine,
which-
a helicopter full of Norwegians comes up on you, just starts yelling stuff. They're shooting at a dog. They accidentally blow themselves up. Yeah,
You
you'd
just
be
be
within
like,
your
what
rights
are
to.
you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is not going to fly. And then
Why did you bring this chaos here? Leave us be. We're weather scientists.
right, we're just
Yeah.
chilling. And then the prequel, yeah, it's like they had to have like, oh, this one guy, he doesn't speak English. Because you think if you're on it, Arctic research, and everybody speaks English in Norway or whatever.
Right.
So it's kind of like
Yeah, in the prequel,
they had to explain it away, like, oh, this one guy doesn't speak English, and he's the one who ends up chasing the dog.
He's the only one who
right.
flies
It's
the
also
helicopter.
Yeah.
the helicopter pilot that shows up in the end that was like somewhere else for the last day or whatever, so he missed everything in the movie. He's like,
Oh yeah, he's the
and
guy.
then
that drops
Lars, the
grenade.
dog guy, is like,
Yeah.
which is funny. So the dog runs up. They're like, okay, what the fuck just happened with these Norwegians? They bring the dog in. They have a dog handler at their base as well.
They're trying to
so
contact
they're
the
all-
bases too. They're like, yo, Norway base, what the fuck is happening over there? Like, why did you guys roll up on us? Like, we can't get a signal through.
Child sees the helicopter, and when everybody else comes out and says, "What is it?" he says, "It says Swed," and it says Norge, and one of them goes, "Oh, they're Norwegian," and they go,
Yeah.
Like some of them are dumb, which I really like.
I don't know what
Yeah, they're not
people's
the
jobs
smartest
are
guys.
necessarily. Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing, but
No, I had to
They've
look
got
at
a radio
Wikipedia. I
guy.
never understood their jobs until it's how what good. They've got a radio guy, a mechanic,
Got a
an
cook.
assistant mechanic, a bunch of scientists, and a cook. Yeah.
Noel,
dog.
the cook, is the guy roller skating around is the cook.
Mhm.
They've got the senior biologist is Wilford Brimley, Blair. They've got a doctor, Dr. Copper. They've got a geologist. They've got a meteorologist, a dog handler, the station commander, and radio operator. And a
Wait,
helicopter
Windows isn't the cook? Is Windows the radio operator?
Windows is
pilot.
radio.
Windows
guy.
is the radio operator. Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Knowles
like
is the cook. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, just like kind of the gruffness of this crew and a single thing. Like some people have said, this is kind of aliens on ice. It does kind of have that vibe, like of this
Yes, it's very
kind of
alien.
rugged group of people out here. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Harry Dean Stanton should be in this movie. Like he would fit
should
in
be
like
that
a
guy in
castle.
the vest. Yeah.
I drive the boat. And you'd be like, boat?
Yeah, he should have been smoking the doobies in this one.
Yeah, he could have been But
You look at some of these characters, like his character. What is his name? Spencer Preston. What's Palmer? Thank you, Palmer.
the assistant
You-
mechanic.
You get so much backstory just fucking looking at this guy where you're like, well, that guy was in Vietnam. He's wearing a tattered army
Yeah.
jacket. He's a burnout drug addict who works in like a Norwegian facility as an assistant mechanic. It's like, these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that some of them have were able to bring weed to the Antarctic, so they were made sure they have their joints at the ready.
They have plenty of
Knolls.
weed, plenty of brews, and plenty
Yeah.
of whiskey, and they got some vodka. They're stocked up down there.
Yeah, hey, that's the way to be.
That's what we're researching.
Um,
Yeah,
You
how
can
high
yeah.
pay
you
me to
get?
be fucking in the ice with Wilford Brimley. Like, oh, get out of here.
Hey,
And
if you
now our
got my
chess machine's
JB and
broken.
yeah, I'd be up there if I had my vices.
I'm
I
all
could
good
survive.
now. I want to come back to the camp, Jacob.
I would like to come
We'll see
inside
about
now.
Well,
But now we're
but they do
chilling with
end
the
up going
dogs,
over.
hanging out. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say they do end up
yeah.
going over in the helicopter to check out the Norwegian base. McCready and Dr. Copper. And what they find there is the charred ruins and some frozen corpses. They see a really fucked up looking corpse of some kind of messed up thing.
Two-headed
And
weird
they're like,
thing.
what the hell
Yeah.
is that?
spoilers for all these movies, but remind
Yeah.
me, does the Huntress make it out of the prequel?
She ends up stranded with no. She doesn't really know where she's going, but she has a snowcat with some gas. And so it's like,
Okay.
Right.
I think there was gonna be a potential sequel, but it didn't do good. And so
Oh, yeah.
the writer said
And-
she was supposed to die, but the film left it open.
That would have been, yeah, the best ending would have been just her, like, or the implication that she's not going to survive, basically.
I like to think that she came back to the base and then got thinged, and that she's the dog.
Ah.
But that's just my headcanon. That's not supported by
think
anything.
What I like about the prequel is they did introduce this idea of like, oh, it can't replicate inorganic material. So like if you have dental fillings,
Yes.
it has to like spit them out. So that's what they use as a test to be like, open your mouth, show me your fillings, or I don't know if you're the thing.
Yeah.
And
I
one
like
character's
that a
like,
lot.
what? You're gonna kill me because I floss?
Yeah.
And then at the end, Joel Edgerton, spoiler alert, who has an earring the whole time, shows up and doesn't have his earring. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead's like, wait a minute, where's your earring? And then he, touched the wrong ear, and that's how she knows he's the thing.
She cooks him.
By the way,
which Childs has an earring in this too, so maybe that'll come into play.
last thing I want to say about the prequel, Mike's got his JB and everything. I've got my Cavs hat here. And do you remember the first thing Joel Edgerton says to Mary Elizabeth Winstead in this movie?
Yes.
When they
You're
meet,
American,
he says,
right?
"Hey, do you have a? Do you have? I've been trying to get a newspaper or something, but they're all like 3 weeks old. Can you tell me how the Cavaliers are doing?"
No.
And she says, "Sorry, I
From
don't know
Ohio?
sports." He's I don't know. He's a fan of the Cleveland Cavaliers, though.
And it's like, oh, they play basketball. The guy said barely. I looked it up. Their record was like 25-60
in the
year.
80s.
Like, they were really bad in this, 80s. So
they weren't good in the 80s, but Cavaliers.
they're
So I knew I liked Joel Edgerton in that
Wow.
movie for some reason.
There we go.
Fellow Cavs fan, so we love it. So I'm wearing my Cavs hat in honor of that.
yeah, they built the sets to remake all the stuff from the original movie. They didn't know the scaling, so they just used Kurt Russell's height and then use that to scale when they were rebuilding like the room where the ice block is and stuff.
Yeah, I was reading how
the
director had all these frames from the thing that you would use as reference because he wanted to make it look as close as possible. So obviously there was like some passion there. Like they really wanted to make a good thing prequel. It's just sad that the studio had to come in and do their
Probably gonna watch it
meddling.
It's
you should watch it.
Got issues, but it makes watching the original thing, 82 original, quote unquote, more fun. But
yeah, and there's still some practical effects, but anytime it goes full CGI, just like, man, I feel like this would have been better if it was practical, and all of a sudden it's like crazy CGI on my face, and I don't love it.
I saw some of the tests and they're really good, but what can you do? But like we see our first creature thing with this weird skeleton that they're going to bring back and like study, and like that's our first kind of look at the special effects in this one. So
yeah,
they're like, we don't know,
and
they're collecting the papers. Like, this might be important research. Let's take it with us.
Right. Yeah. So they come across some dead bodies and stuff. Guy has like his throat slit or whatever with the razor. And then, they bring back the specimen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and those icicles when he slit his wrist and there's like blood icicles. What a eerie kind of touch, to have.
Yeah.
On. So setting a uncertain mood, I guess. But so they bring the specimen back.
Yeah, and so Blair, the biologist, Wilford Brimley, is doing an autopsy on it. He's like, "Oh, there's appears to be some human organs inside of here."
Mm-hmm.
Um, Meanwhile, the dog's hanging out. There's Clark, the dog guy, um,
Yep.
and they put the dog in with the other dogs, the thing dog. Uh, and this is a crazy scene, right, where the thing dog gets locked up. All the dogs start freaking out and barking and stuff, and then this dog's just entire face opens up. And this is the first like crazy special effect that we get in this movie. And of course, the effects in this movie are incredible, like some incredible practical effects. Just what can you say? They're amazing. But
Some of the best.
yeah, Mike,
Yeah,
what do you
and
think of these effects?
I'm trying to. Sorry, I'm trying to look up who did them. Quickly, but I love these
This is
effects.
one of those. It's one of those weird cases, Mike, where I'm like, I attribute it all to John Carpenter for some reason, and I know he didn't do the effects.
The guy who did these
Right.
effects would also do, I believe, like the howling and stuff. And he was 22 when he did this movie. He was 22 years old. It's insane. And
Yeah.
like when the little tubies are doing tube stuff, and like how do the arms and legs grow out of these creatures? Like I still can't figure out like how the fuck did they do this? Like these effects are
Yeah.
chef's kiss, man. When the dog
The-
head opens up and the skull falls out, I'm like, this is fucking insane. Yeah.
Yeah, just in general, like the thing, the way it kind of mutates and stuff is just insane. And like they do some creative stuff with it. Like the scene later where the guy's head falls off and then the head becomes like a little spider thing and crawls around, like incredible. I just don't know how anyone could.
Botton. I just had
Rob
to
Botton.
give him a shout out.
I don't understand how
RoboCop,
anyone
Total
can watch.
Recall.
No
Yeah.
fucking way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very cool. Yeah.
The
But how
Howling
could anyone
Legend.
watch this movie and say, you know what? I think CGI is better than this. I just don't understand it. Like, I know it can be cheaper, it can be easier to make, but it's just like, man, we really lost something when we moved away from practical effects and to CGI. They're just never going to look as good. I mean, you can get really incredible CG effects like, Planet of the Apes and stuff like that, but I don't know. You're never going to beat the physical ness of the practical effects. Like that's really there in the scene. You can tell it's there. That's always the problem. The uncanny valley that I have with CGI, where it's like, well, I know that's just a computer effect. It breaks the immersion to a certain level.
And the actors have something to work off of with the practical effects and stuff too. Like it really matters. I want to shout out one more thing. Rob Bottin did all this stuff when he was 22. He did need help for one sequence, which was the kennel, and Stan Winston helped out with that a little bit. So Stan Winston getting his hands on. Let's go. Like we love
Please.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the best effects movies ever done. We're pro practical effects on the
Absolutely.
show. And it's one of the best
Absolutely.
ever do.
We love it. And so the dog starts going crazy, trying to absorb the other dogs. All hell is breaking loose in the dog kennel.
And the first action point, someone's like, McCurry wants the flamethrower. Like that's his first thought. Give me the flamethrower.
Get the flamethrower.
Burn it, dude.
Which, why do they even have a flamethrower at this base? Like what need do they have for a flamethrower?
If any of the generators ice up, are you kidding? All of the
awesome stuff.
They gotta keep stuff alive.
Yeah,
I guess so. I never really thought what a flamethrower would be used for outside of like a combat scenario.
Yeah, it does add to the Alien comparison, also just using flamethrowers, but this one goes way more flamethrower crazy than Alien did.
Right. Flamethrowers are. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying they're trying to take out the thing. It's doing its dog transformation. Everyone's freaking it, and then it climbs up into the ceiling. And now it's like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? We're kind of kicking off.
That's right. So we, Blair autopsies the dog thing, surmises that it's an organism that can perfectly imitate other life forms.
What you have to understand is that thing had human DNA, but it also had cells that are independent of that, almost animals themselves. It came here.
Cells are eating the other cells.
It wants to take on our traits, just like it's taken on the traits of those from the other planets it's probably visited. Don't you see? It's a mistake that it got stuck here.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Thought out.
And it's implied in the prequel that basically the Thing wasn't even the pilot of the ship. The Thing was like a stowaway
specimen.
on the ship, and the alien that was piloting the ship crashed it on purpose to try to kill the Thing, basically.
Which go to the sun.
Which obviously didn't work.
Do we see what that thing looks like?
You
The
do
other alien?
actually, but they covered it
Yeah.
in CG bullshit because they were like, "Oh, that's too weird." So it was supposed to be in the prequel. You can see it in deleted
Maybe.
scenes.
Doing some
Right,
quick
okay.
Googles here as you guys do that.
Yeah. You
But
do
yeah,
see
that's
the spaceship and everything. Yeah.
I don't like seeing the spaceship. They do a big set piece at the end on the spaceship. That's
Yeah.
one of the things I dislike the most about it. But you know, it is what it is. But it's always
Yeah.
been my headcanon that the Thing wasn't flying the spaceship in the beginning. It was
Right.
causing chaos. So I like that he's just continuing to do that.
Because when you see this movie, you just think, oh, the Thing was the pilot of that flying saucer in the beginning,
totally
but actually
think
it was a
that.
different kind of alien piloting it.
It's 100,000 years frozen down there, which is pretty crazy. Very AVP.
Right.
But
I
his
love it,
computer
Mike.
sim, he's looking at the computer sim. It's showing the cells becoming other cells, and then
The cell like eating
replicating
another
them.
cell and then replicating it. Yeah.
And then it says, "Oh, if this gets to population center, we'll be done in 27,000 hours. Like 3 years is
Right.
what we'd have before humanity's screwed." You
It's
know,
like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But basically, Blair's like in his room by himself, like typing this in a computer and be like, oh, we're all gonna die.
oh
And
shit.
Oh my! If these calculations, and then we just get Wilford Brimley running into the communications room, going, "They don't know what I know, and if they did, they'd know, and what I know, they did and did know,
Just
and
starts
not
going
know."
crazy.
He's
Starts
he's
crashing
improvising
out.
and just kind of rambling, and
Yeah.
and
Well, yeah,
McCready's
he's
like,
not doing
"Hey, knock it off."
he's not doing a good job of explaining
No,
like what's going on. He just starts smashing up the radio. He's like,
Why are you
no,
destroying our
we can't
comms?"
get it.
yeah, Windows is like, "Stop hitting me."
He's smashing up the radio. He sabotages the helicopter and whatever vehicles and stuff they have there. So basically trying to make sure that they can't escape the base, because he knows like we can't let this thing escape and get back to civilization.
Right.
But he basically just does all this shit without telling anybody, and then just starts losing it. And they're like, you know what? Let's lock this guy up. He's gone crazy, I think.
You definitely believe him. Later, he said he's all better now.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not sick anymore.
But I love, this whole part here, because again, we're seeing the dynamics. Windows is getting attacked. McCready's outside. He's formulating a plan. Everybody else is kind of coming him to figure it out. He calls out Childs, go around, talk to him. Okay. Has a conversation with Wilford Brimley. He says, "Hey man, how you feeling?" Wilford Brimley turns and goes, "I'll kill you." Shoots at Childs a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
RJ McCready gets a fucking door or whatever,
Like a little
Yeah.
table.
runs
Shield
at him
charges in.
as he brings the fire axe down on him, and they all tackle him and just start punching him in the face. It is such a great fight scene. And then at the end, they're like, "All right, we need to, go get the fucking flame, the gun or the knife or whatever they take off of him or whatever, right?" And they're like, "Well, who should have that?" And he's like, "A cooler head should have that, child." It's like they call out to Keith David, like, "It's not gonna be you,
Right.
Mike."
And
Well,
like
because-
McCreary
yeah.
keeps it like, "I'm the most
Yeah.
level-headed person here, right? Give me
Right.
that."
Well, Childs is kind of like aggressive and like constantly like trying to accuse other people and stuff later. So he is kind of one of the more hot-headed guys.
Mhm.
But they lock Blair up in a shed, and they're like, all right, you chill out here, man. Like, we don't know what you're doing, but you got to cool off. And so at this point, let's see what happens.
I think they're coming up with a test so they can test to see who might be a thing. Or is that later?
That's actually they talk
Well,
about.
the blood bag stuff. And then like who had the key? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they say, oh yeah, the blood bags have been destroyed. They're like, okay, well,
We have pure
who had the key?
samples
And I was like-
because they're frozen. Yeah, so we can use that as a control sample,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
If we
right. They want
cross
to
it
test the
over, we can
blood.
see it's contaminated.
So we have Gary, who's like the station commander, who like wants to be in charge, but the other guys don't like respect him that much, it seems like. And he's got the gun. He shot the guy in the beginning. He's like, well, I have the keys. And then Dr. Copper, he borrows the keys when he needs blood or whatever. So those two guys are like, well, one of you might be the thing. So they don't trust
not,
those guys.
not me. The
I always
keys,
give 'em right
anybody
back.
could. No, you always have those keys, old man.
You love your key ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole back and forth is really good.
Right.
So we have an issue with the keys. At some point, is that when Windows goes to get a shotgun? Like,
Yeah, he goes
I can't
crazy,
trust
and that's when
anybody.
he has the
Yeah.
standoff to him. Yeah,
That's
and that's when they do the handoff, and McCready's like, "I'll hold on to all this stuff."
Yeah.
That's
Stuff
why,
is getting fucking
because
tense.
Gary's like, they don't trust Gary. It's like, all right, you take the gun, McCready. You can control the gun or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got
You're
to
in
lock
charge.
Windows down.
Mac.
Mac.
So they're they're all debating on, what to do.
They're saying we should stop sharing meat. We need to prepare our own food. Like, we shouldn't be like sharing
Yeah.
anything. Basically, we need to be
Yeah.
staying in groups. Nobody does anything alone. We got to be really keeping an eye on each other, a real close one, as it were. Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember the order of what happens next.
It's just a paranoia fever dream, but it's
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time doing it linearly, but yeah, we
Right,
can't
but
do
eventually
the blood
they
test,
end
so we
up.
need to come up with another method, but that's a little bit later.
Yeah. McCready and Knowles investigate McCready's shack. During the return, Knowles abandons McCready in the storm, believing he's already been assimilated after finding his torn clothes in the shack. That's right. They find McCready's like burnt up clothes.
Mhm.
And then he's outside in the cold. The team is like debating whether to let him back in.
He just
runs
breaks
But
through
he
the
basically
window.
he breaks in. He's holding a flare and dynamite, and he's like, "Look, if any of you try anything, I'll fucking blow us all up."
Fucking kill us.
Which, that's the beginning scene. Like, when he's about to lose, he'll blow it all up. That's his method. Yeah.
I don't
Right.
care.
Yep. I don't care. So he's just holding
So-
dynamite for the rest of the next third of this movie with a flare.
That's an incredible part. He's just got dynamite and a flare. He's like, "Don't try anything." And they've got a flamethrower. They're like, "Okay, don't burn him. Don't burn him."
So bonkers. Man.
And then one of the guys starts, kind of basically, they think he's having a heart attack. He's like sick or something, so they start trying to defibrillate him. And this is one of the best jump scares in this movie. I think they're defibrillating him, the doctor, and then all of a sudden he goes down to put the paddles on. His chest opens up, big teeth, and the doctor's arms go in. It chomps his arms. He starts screaming. It turns out
Rips his
that
arms
guy
off.
was the thing.
We've gotten
rips his
some
arm
stuff. Like Kurt has said, he thinks the doctor is one of these things at this point. Some accusations have flown around. So we'll learn a moment of actually the thing getting people off its scent. Why is it revealing itself? Doing it because then you've got all your eyes on like, well, I guess it was that guy the whole time. When it's like, no, really, it's like 3 out of 7
like
of
multiple
them.
guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even know like the game that it's playing. It's like, oh. Again, it's RJ thinking he's beating the chess game,
Mhm.
and it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's making moves
I've
you
got you
can't
now.
even predict, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Because this thing
Um,
goes crazy. Like, it chomps him, and then this is where the head extends, and it's that crazy
Yes.
monster on the ceiling, and then the head becomes
Turns
a
into the
separate monster.
spider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're torching the shit out of it. They're just flamethrower full blower.
Yeah,
down
they're
there.
torching everything. Yeah, the head drops off, gross spider leg, starts scurrying away. They look at it like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yep.
Yeah.
McCready tries to burn it.
And that's when he has the idea, though. Wait a minute. The thing
Yes.
is multiple thing. Like, every time it separates, and when they don't like fire.
Pieces
so
of it can break off.
All of it
Yeah.
is the thing.
all
yeah.
of it is the thing. But also,
And that's
it
when they
runs
decide
away.
they do the blood test, which is
Correct.
one of my favorite scenes, where they have a hot wire and they're like, okay, if we put this on normal blood, it doesn't do anything. But if we put it on the thing blood, it'll like freak out and try to avoid the
It'll
It'll
shock.
react.
preserve.
It'll break its illusion. Yeah, it will
Yeah.
preserve its right to live.
Mm-hmm.
So they get blood samples from everyone.
To get everybody tied
Um,
up. As
Yes,
well.
most people are tied up. Childs and of course McCready's got the flamethrower, so he's just like tying everyone else up. And
He's
like, look, I
pretty
don't
quick
trust
to
any
be
of you.
like, but he's pretty quick to be like, it's not Knowles. Like, it seems like he's like, no, it's not gonna be Knowles. Like, get him out of the thing.
Right. So
Right.
Knowles is being a
But
one
even
over.
I love the detail that even the dead people he has tied up. And the first person he does the blood sample to after doing himself to be like, okay, see, it's not me or whatever, he does is the dog trainer who has been suspicious this whole time. He's the person
Oh,
who has
he's real close to
interacted
that
with
dog.
the thing the most,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning. You would think
Watch
he'd
Clark.
be infected.
That's what
He
Blair
got
tells
the
him.
scalpel out. Blair said, watch Clark. He got the scalpel out. He made a dive for him. Kurt Russell shot him in the head. And when he tests the blood and it's not him, you do see a little on his face of like, oh, fuck, I killed that guy. It's like,
Yep.
oh, God fucking damn it.
It's like,
That's
that makes
right.
you a murderer. Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
you a murderer, doesn't it?
Yep.
Childs. That's right. I forgot he shot that one guy.
But even the way that when he grabs the scalpel and it's like low angle, left of the frame, it's just his hand with the hidden scalpel, and then the rest of the scene. Like, there's
Good.
so many good shots in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're slowly untying people, and then here, you get a flamethrower because I can trust you. And now they're like aiming them at the remaining test havers. Yep.
I like that part. That's right. He kills Clark because he lunges at McCready with the scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
Which, why would you do that? Why would you try to attack him if you're not the Thing?
Because he came in from
he's
outside,
got a
and he might be the Thing.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, everyone like Childs is still tied up next to a couple of the guys, right? And so they're testing all the guys. They test Childs, he's okay.
Gary's
they test Gary, and then what's the one guy tied up next to them that
the hippie
he's
guy.
the Thing? Oh, right, yeah. So that's Palmer. So they do everyone's blood. They find. Well, this is a good fake out too, because you kind of think it's going to be Gary, because they've kind of led you to believe, like through
Gentlemen,
foreshadowing and stuff. It's
I
Gary.
know we've been through quite a bit this season, but if you don't mind, could you please fucking untie me?
Yeah,
I love that scene too. That line reading. And that's the fake out, because you think, oh, it's definitely Gary. Puts the thing on the blood. Nope, he's normal. Okay, please untie me. Okay, now we're doing Palmer. The blood freaks out, and then Palmer starts going crazy, and then Childs and Gary are still tied up next to him. They start freaking out because they're literally tied up next to the Thing.
Their ability to just lean as far away as they can, just be like,
what else can you do?
No.
I love it.
I know they're gonna just torch this thing, get me away from here. So yeah, eventually, they get away, and dude's in the corner freaking it. He gets flamethrowered, kicking his legs.
He's freaking it. Yep.
And then they feel pretty good. Everybody's untied.
Now we
know. He feels awesome about nobody being there, and he walks up to Childs, who's just got like a gun, and he's like looking outside. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna go check on Blair. Like, if he comes back without us, torch his ass." And Childs is like, "All right."
Yeah. Well, first, also the Palmer thing. Before they burn it, it infects Windows, so he has to incinerate both of them.
Yeah,
so Windows gets killed.
Right.
So only McCready, Childs, Knowles, and Gary and Blair are left alive, essentially.
And we have, I keep bringing it up because it really is my favorite scene, but we have already had the scene where they go to Blair for advice, and he's like, "I feel great.
You can let me back in now.
Normal now. I'm a good guy." And Kurt Russell's like, "No, that's not happening.
Come on, don't leave me out here in the shack."
It is such an incredible moment when they have to, and the weather is so extreme now that they have to use the tie line rope between the buildings, a flare going, and they're pulling themselves between the lights, and full like frost.
It's so great when McCready's outside. He's got his beard's all like iced up and stuff that just like looks so cold.
It's incredible. But when Knowles gets up there and he's like, "The door's open, McCready, the door's open," and he's like scared or whatever, and you are immediately like, "Oh, Blair, of course you seemed so insane."
Yeah, Blair. Even the second time they go up and they open the thing, and he's just got his noose. He's like, "Can I come inside?"
Like, all right, Blair, don't do that.
You're pretty stable.
He's ready to kill himself.
Yep.
So they leave Childs to go check on. So they leave Childs in the base. McCready, Gary, and Knowles go to check on Blair. They find that he has escaped. And they kind of go looking for him. They go like underground or whatever, and they find out
They
that
ripped
he's
up the
been
floorboards,
trying to, he's been trying to rebuild or make a flying saucer out of like vehicle parts from their base.
So they see that he has dug underground and is creating a spacecraft. Now,
Mhm.
this is when I was, let's say 12 years old. I went out trick-or-treating, and it was that weird age where my brother's 3 years older than me, where he was done trick-or-treating. And it was like, is this gonna like be my last hurrah or whatever?
How old were you?
Probably like 12 or something. Like
Okay.
maybe 11, 12,
I
maybe
trick or treated later than that because I was just like,
really.
hey, free candy. I'll
Yeah,
dress up in some dumb costume. Why not?
parents divorcing, you just feel like you grew up pretty fast, you know, and then just again, him being out of it as the younger brother, you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm done. You as a more one of the older brothers, maybe
I
you
would
know,
go with my younger siblings and kind of be the
yeah,
babysitter and walk
yeah,
around the neighborhood with
that
them.
tracks.
Yeah, when I was a
I
teen.
came back. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm pouring out my candy and I'm counting it out. And my brother comes up the stairs and goes, how did it go? And I go, pretty good. And my dad walks in the room and he's clicking through channels and he gets to the sci-fi channel, 52. I know exactly the channel it was, 52 in Cincinnati. Shout out. And it is the scene where Kurt Russell is looking at the spacecraft. And he goes, oh, guys, this is the thing. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, this is like the scariest movie ever. We got to watch this. Watch this scene. And like we dial in.
The end.
It's almost the end.
Yeah.
And I remember so distinctly, this is the moment where Kurt Russell goes, it's FUBAR. It's FUBAR. And he screams that out. And my brother goes, what does FUBAR mean? And my dad goes, it's military slang. It means fucked up beyond all repair. And I'm sitting there still going like, 4 Snickers, 5 Milky Way, and you're like eyes like glued to the screen, and then monster attack, and I fucking scream and I go, turn this off, and my dad turns it off, and it became one of these weird totem movies where I was always fucking scared of it.
Wow,
that's incredible. That's a great
Especially
story.
Just the monster designs as a young. If I saw this when I was young, it'd be terrifying. Are you kidding me? It's hard to look at.
Nothing like getting traumatized by a movie that your dad puts on when you're a kid, and you're probably too young to have been watching it at that point.
Using the language that I'm sure all of our older siblings, parents, grandparents used of like, no, watch this. It's a movie. It's good for you. You need to know that this isn't real. Just watch this. And you just being like, no, but it is real.
I can't handle this.
I love it. So yeah, they destroy the flying saucer that he's trying to build, and
they come up with the snowcat plan, right? Is this where they're like, let's go maybe see if we can get out of here on that, right? No?
Well, they go back to the base. Childs is missing, and then the power generator has been destroyed. So they're like, oh, the generator's gone. They're like, what do you mean? It's gone.
It's gone. And there's a big hole. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, what could do that?
So basically, how it ends is they essentially decide they're just gonna like freeze to death there to make sure the thing can't escape, right?
Yeah. There are. It's again, I'm having a hard time linearly, but we had like Fuchs has also become a thing, and they take him outside and like torch him. He throws a grenade at another one of the things and just blows it sky high.
He was one of the first. He was one of the first people to get thinged, I believe.
He definitely was.
The over-the-top disposal, the one that crashes through the wall and then Kurt Russell just throws a grenade at it. It's like, this is crazy. Like,
the monster that lifts up the floor. How does Knowles die?
They go back to like the underground whatever that the Blair thing has sort of dug out, and because they're gonna try to like kill him, make sure he doesn't escape. But they with the explosives, right? They bring the grenades or whatever, and then the Blair thing kills Gary, and Knowles disappears. The Blair thing transforms into an enormous creature, breaks the detonator, but McCready triggers the explosive with a stick of dynamite, destroying the station and the Blair thing.
So Knowles still unknown.
So Knowles, I think he kind of just wandered off thinking he saw Blair, and then I guess never comes back. And then McCready's there alone, and then Childs shows up, And they like both are like, "Are you the thing? No, are you the thing?" And they don't trust each other, but they're just kind of sitting there, ready to slowly freeze to death while drinking their J&B whiskey.
Now, Mike, you were hinting at some themes. What's your thoughts on all this?
Well, my thought on Chekhov's JMB is, you know, you're not supposed to be sharing food or anything of any kind. So if you're offering Childs, right, a drink and he accepts it, then maybe he's a thing because you wouldn't want to drink something someone else drank from, but then he has an earring. But then I'm like, wait a minute. What if the thing knew that it can't, but in the prequel, the thing would have learned that it can't do inorganic and maybe it picked up the earring and put it back on.
But that's technically maybe not canon to this movie. Like they came up with that afterwards in the prequel. So maybe they didn't think of that.
So that's where I get confused because in the beginning of the movie, Kurt Russell gives the JMB to the guy who gets shot. Like, here, drink this. They're sharing joints. They have a cook. They're sharing meals and stuff. And by the end, that's totally separate. So for him to give the drink to Childs, I think that's important. If Childs either accepting it means he's a thing or he just doesn't give a shit and is accepting just dying. So I don't know where it lands, but it could be with the earring info that he is a thing and he just doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, I think they're not both the thing, or else the thing would be like, okay, we're both the thing, right? So I think one of them is human, possibly both are human, possibly.
Yeah, we both the thing. Yeah, we are.
Let's get out of here then.
Let's fucking go. What are we waiting on?
Right. Yeah. Fix that.
Now there was a different original ending.
Tell me, I do not know this.
I'm trying to look where I read it earlier, but basically, John Carpenter decided against this ending because he thought it was like too cheesy or something. But there was an ending where McCready and Childs end up helicoptering, are presumably both the thing, and they helicopter to another base and they land there and they say, "What's a guy got to do to get a hot meal?" And that's how it ends. And the implication is they're about to thing everybody in that base.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Have either of you guys ever played the video game?
No. Have you?
So another quick story, and I feel like I have a million more thing attached stories. So when we get the final thoughts, get ready for that.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I had a Dreamcast, and the only other kid at my school, Jordan Rogers, who also had a Dreamcast, was like, "I'm gonna come over on Saturday and bring a Dreamcast game that I'm too scared to play by myself." And I was like, "Oh shit, like Quake or something? Like, what's it gonna be?" It was the Thing video game. I was like, "Oh, Jacob, you would love this game. It's third-person shooter. You take place on this mysterious third base. You are a military guy who's sent there to, or no, I guess it takes place on the original base because you do actually end up finding the spacecraft, but you're a dude who can just interact and find things. You have a flamethrower, you have a gun, you're killing things, but occasionally you'll bump into someone who's like, I'm a technician. Like, I'm just a dude who's here to help. You know, some of those doors that you can't get past, I can splice and open those doors." And you're like, "Oh, okay." Then you'll bump into someone who's a nurse and they're like, "You've taken a lot of damage. Like, I could come with you and heal you." And you're like, "Oh yeah, you definitely should." And then 2 seconds into you opening that door, you sort of like lean over the technician. You're like, "You're doing a great job." And the nurse will be like, "Actually, you guys are doing a great job. Looking delicious. I'm the Thing." And you both have to be like, "No," and like shoot like the guy who's with you or whatever. Like, it's a lot of like that psychological stuff. And they just remade the game for new consoles. So I'm curious what the remaster's like.
It'd be cool if it was like that LA Noire game where you had to like figure out if people are lying based on like their facial cues or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like, "Are you the Thing?" And you have to like figure out if people are the Thing or not.
I think it's an RNG. Like, I think it's literally like, you know, you can have like 4 companions and like no matter what, like one of them is a thing.
They could make a more sophisticated Thing game today, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I found where it's
of Thing games.
Right.
And the finale of that game is RJ McCready appears in a helicopter and goes, "Let's get out of here." And I think he maybe even says, "Does anybody know where a guy can get hot meals?"
Yeah.
So
what I was reading. So the original ending in the script, Lancaster's script, had both McCready and Childs turn into the Thing. In the spring, the characters are rescued by a helicopter, greeting their saviors with, "Hey, which way to a hot meal?" Carpenter thought this ending was too shallow in total, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So yeah, you opted to end with this more sort of nihilistic ending where they just decide to slowly freeze to death to save humanity from infection.
Well, we just
Last
sit here
Also,
a
I mean, it's
while,
kind of a
see what
yeah, it's a
happens.
heroic act for them to just do that, really, to save humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Last name in the credits I want to shout just because you named him Bill Lancaster, Nepo baby son of Burt Lancaster, who wrote this movie. He only wrote
Oh.
2 films. He came up with this, and he came up with the concept of Bad News Bears. He wrote the original film of that, which is like he invented the genre of guy has to coach kids doing something, which is pretty interesting.
Right.
Yeah. I was
That's
thinking of Bad News Bears when you mentioned Kurt Russell's baseball team. I was like, oh, is that the Bad News Bears? Like, sort of.
Yeah.
That's
wild.
interesting. I like this ending though
Um,
because I'm positing that the JB is my smoking gun. That Childs is a thing if we include the earring data, whatever. That's just my version. But I like that people are YouTubing still, like, who was the thing and when were they the thing and like how did it pass around?
I remember a thing of, and maybe this is in the commentary, maybe this is a John Carpenter, like, said it in some sort of DVD special thing of like, well, I think, the answer is always there. Isn't it pretty obvious that, don't we say earlier in the film, Kurt Russell makes a bunch of Molotov cocktails? You think that's alcohol in that? I thought it was gasoline.
Right.
And
That's right.
he's offering it to Childs, and when Childs takes the drink and doesn't react, it's like, you're the fucking thing, dude.
And Kurt Russell just kind of laughs like, oh man. Yep.
Well, we're both gonna die. Like, I'm not gonna be able to stop this.
yeah.
Yeah, even that. Like, we're both, if we either of us has a surprise for each other, we're too tired to do anything about it. Like, if you're gonna attack me, I can't do shit anyway, so we'll just
No.
hang out.
And basically, like the heating's gone because of the generator. There's no way to, the vehicles and stuff had all been sabotaged, so there's literally no way to escape.
And the entire thing is
So they're
burning
pretty
to
much
the ground.
resigned to their fate. Yeah.
There's no food. There's no anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna freeze to death.
Freezing.
So-
Would I like to freeze to death? Probably not.
Probably not.
Ask Jack Torrance about that one. I would
Just
not
gotta get a
like it.
hedge maze.
Did you
Colin-
just because you just said that, Mike? Did you see that meme of how many shots in Weapons by Zach Kreger are direct shots from The Shining?
No, is it a ton?
No, I didn't.
It's a ton, dude. It's incredible. Anyways, what were you
Okay.
about to say, Jacob?
Oh, that's just like
the
the
bathroom
Substance
scene.
has a lot of
Yeah.
Shining references for some reason.
I didn't know that.
If you guys have seen that movie.
One of the best.
Colin, we made a mistake earlier when we said, and I thought this too, but the computer chess voice is not Jamie Lee Curtis. It's actually Adrienne Barbeau, John
Oh,
Carpenter's then wife at the time.
Even
Adrienne
better.
Barbeau, actress who was also in The Fog. Of course, she plays the Lighthouse Radio DJ in The Fog.
Escape from New
So,
York.
Nice.
yeah, great actress. And yeah, John Carpenter was married to her for a little bit. So of course that's the only female part in this movie. But I thought, yeah, I'll mention that.
Adrian, I fucked my face up.
Yeah, and I was looking. I was like, oh, and so Cody Carpenter, his son, is the son of John Carpenter, Adrienne Barbeau, who he does music and stuff with.
Oh, that's incredible.
Gotcha.
He's got a very hot mom.
Yeah, she was a looker in the 80s for sure.
National
Maybe even
sex
today.
symbol.
Check,
Yeah.
mate.
But The Thing.
Yeah,
What
again,
else
like,
can we say?
well, yeah, before final thoughts, I guess I'll just say my McCready thesis, yeah, if I'm fucked, I'll blow it all up. And when he sees the thing, he's like, yeah, well, fuck you too. And he throws the dynamite. He's like, we're just going to blow it all up. If I can't win,
Yeah.
we're changing the condition of the test. I'm blowing it all up. Yeah, so I just like
Very
this.
Right.
shiny.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, McCready, very similar, I think, to Snake Plissken in a lot of ways, very similar characters. Like you could just switch those two characters in those respective movies and they probably do the same things with the same outcomes.
Just take the eye patch off. Yeah. Switch
Yeah.
the eye patches.
Same little things.
But definitely watch Escape from New York sometime if you haven't, Mike, because it's a classic, of course.
I need to, yeah. Once it's out of spooky season, I'm back to the regular rotation of movies. I'll do Escape from New York.
Absolutely. But
Um,
yeah, well, should we jump over to final thoughts and wrap up the thing?
yeah, but I still don't trust you.
We're thing on Normie Things Like Thing.
Here's the thing.
Given our final things on the thing.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for you guys about the thing.
Yeah.
Do you think the thing is aggressive or acting in self-defense? It's only aggressive, in my opinion, when it's with the dogs.
Do you
Well, it's
think?
a parasite.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
a parasite. I guess that is true. Do you think it? Do you think it hurts to maintain these forms? Is that why sometimes it kind of just blows it?
Oh, I wonder. It looks like it hurts. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Be a
Like when it
stretchy
has to
bug guy.
transform. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
If my whole thing is, I would just kill you guys. I certainly wouldn't take the time to have every one of my pores spew out blood and then turn into a skeleton and then detach my own head and then turn it
but
into.
maybe
like,
that's what
a
it has
bat.
to do.
Why?
I think
For
the
what reason?
this is
Why
another
did I
thing I
take this
don't
form?
like about the prequel is it kind of dumbs down like the thing like shoots a lot more tentacles and just kills people
yeah.
super quick in the
It's more
prequel and
aggressive
just
in the
like
prequel,
well
which
The
yeah.
technology. It's like why wouldn't they? Because that's what this thing would be doing the whole time. It wouldn't just be
Right.
walking around like, and I've got pants on and I'm a normal guy.
right.
My question about the thing, here's the thing.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I still wonder this. Does it like when it takes you over, does it like retain your memories and things like that? Because how can you blend in and like talk and act like the
Seems
person that
to,
you
yeah.
are? Because
Yeah.
there's certain scenes where it's talking like normal and then later that was revealed to be a thing. But it's like, how does it know how to act like a human? You know what I mean?
I think it has to know, like it retains the memories because I think that's what throws out the gasoline theory is like Childs would know what gasoline tastes like and would react even if he was a thing.
Right.
That's
Interesting.
but I
Like
do think the
especially in the
memories retain.
prequel, there's certain scenes where like a character is talking and acting normally and then all of a sudden things out and it's like, well, clearly you knew how to act like a human enough to like
It's okay, Jessica. You
cover
can trust me.
They try to evac
yeah
that
or like
one guy
you know how to
and
talk in a
break it.
Norwegian accent and like you would have to have some
Remember
kind
when
of
we went to that
consciousness from
baseball
the
game together? Go Cavaliers.
yeah
The
They play
Cavs aren't a
basketball.
baseball team. Squad.
oh he's the thing
He's a thing.
yeah
That's
I just
true.
feel like it has to retain your memories and like your consciousness when it takes you like if it absorbs your brain like it gets all that
Yeah.
knowledge I guess.
So is its motivation to take over the world or does it just want to like not die? Like that's I think what people debate online. It's like what is its end goal? Because
Yeah, that's
you
a
know,
good question. Like, does it want to take over the entire world and make the entire world the
It
thing?
just seems starving. It just
Yeah.
eats.
could be. But then people say, oh, the defibrillator felt like an attack and it only ate his arms when he went for the second time because it was self-defense.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I googled the alien in the prequel. That's the pilot. It's the thing that's like attached to the ship. Am I looking at the right thing?
The guy that's in the helicopter and becomes a thing?
The thing that in the spacecraft that is the pilot.
Oh yeah, the pilot, big gray alien guy, right?
Yeah, with like bug eyes and
It's
kind
an
of
engineer from
Yeah, it's an engineer.
Prometheus.
cylinder head. Yeah,
You see, the
So that's
engineers
the-
made the thing a long time ago when they
yeah.
were creating life.
I've done that.
This came out the same weekend as Blade Runner, I believe, too. Speaking of, you know,
Yes,
things with ambiguous
another
endings.
movie that was poorly received when it was released, but later became a
Mm-hmm.
cult classic. And another one of my favorite movies, especially my favorite '80s movies.
And they have ambiguous endings. They both have famously debatable, like, what's the
Yeah.
truth here? Yeah, which is kind of
In Blade
interesting.
Runner, there's like a bunch of different cuts, some with voiceover that Harrison Ford hated doing, and then some. But the best ending is the ambiguous ending where you're like, is Harrison Ford a replicant or not?
And I think Ridley Scott has since said, well, he is. And I'm like, I don't like that you answered that. And I don't know if John Carpenter has ever answered if Childs or McCready are the thing. And I hope he doesn't. But even if he did, I would throw that out and just have my own headcanon anyway. It's more fun that way.
Yeah, it's better when it's ambiguous, I think.
But this pilot alien, yeah, Colin. So Marie Elizabeth Winstead is seeing that when she's doing the filming on the day. But then when we watch the prequel, they just cover it in a CG like blue computer cylinder thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's really dumb.
Weird.
That's a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
All-time poster, this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blue coming out of the burqa
His
sort
hand,
of
yeah.
the what do you call
Bright
that?
light. The
John
parka.
Carpenter didn't like it.
Parka. I said burqa.
Yeah.
That's
Burqa.
parka. Jesus, thank you.
But yeah, it's an all-time iconic poster, but Carpenter didn't like it. He's like, it makes it seem like it's just a guy. It's like, no, that's a sick poster. Calm down.
That's not
Yeah.
what it seems like. He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I worry about Daddy sometimes. He's very sick in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you ask older directors about their early films, and they have opinions. They're like, "Well, I didn't need to know that. I probably was better off not knowing that."
We're good. We're
Like Ridley
fine.
Scott.
Doing the Blade Runner thing, yeah.
This poster I'm looking at, the tagline I don't love on it though. The ultimate in alien terror.
Yeah, never good.
Not
That's
a great, tagline. Not as good as in space, no one can hear you scream.
The
Right.
last time I watched this film was when I was doing my Letterbox series of reviewing commentary tracks. So I'm bringing up that review now because I always put a score at the bottom. I am seeing here I did for this one. I'm just going to give it a quick read real quick because I think these were always some interesting insights to the people here. So I always do commentary comments and then I give a score out of 5. This one I gave 1,000 out of 5.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, wait, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, or
It says director John Carpenter and actor Kurt Russell. I always
Oh,
wow,
God, yeah.
I would love to listen to that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I say this is it. This is what it's all been leading towards, the greatest commentary track of all time.
Wow.
2 good old boys and best friends laughing and telling stories well into the credits rolling. I'm so happy for them and for the posterity of this recording. Give Kurt and Keith David Oscar noms for this movie. Can you believe it's the first film Keith David ever starred in? He's so effortless. This is my last Carpenter recording. I've heard him sit down with 2 other actors, and they've been interesting, but nothing comes even close to this energy. Apparently, he does Starman with Jeff Bridges. That would be interesting to hear. Probably a delight. And then I say, Ellen Ripley is the best female protagonist of all time. Who's the greatest male? Is it Max Rockatansky? Is it Ashley J. Williams? Or is it R.J. McCready?
Wow.
There it is.
I like that.
That's great.
Wow.
I would love to listen to that.
They just
Yeah,
laugh. You can tell they're drunk. Like they're having the best. I'm pretty sure at one point you hear a can just go like as they're telling a story. And you're just like,
I love it. What's interesting that obviously, they worked together a couple times. Big Trouble in Little China, and then not for a while, and then Escape from LA in the mid 90s, and then not since then. So it's interesting that they never really worked together too much after the 80s. They only did, the sequel to Escape from New York together, but kind of went their separate ways professionally.
He wanted him to be the lead of They Live. I think Kurt was so burned by this not being a well-received film that he had to go his own way.
Roddy Piper makes They Live, though. Like, it ended up how it should have ended
It
up.
can't be McCready and Childs in
No.
They Live.
That would be insane.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
He has catchphrases. I think of Big Trouble in Little China with McCready, and then Big Trouble in Little China. He's like, you know what old Jack says? To hell with it. And then we get, yeah, you know what? Fuck you too. I'm throwing dynamite at you. I like Kurt Russell a lot.
Fuck you too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. So so basically earlier I connected John Carpenter to our earlier movie Psycho, of course, Through the Fog, Janet Leigh. Now I'll connect John Carpenter to Dawn of the Dead, because of course John Carpenter's first film, Dark Star, which he made with Dan O'Bannon, writer of Alien, and of course Dan O'Bannon did Return of the Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
So there's your connection.
There you go.
Nice. And then that was all, spin-off of Night of the Living Dead.
And the fact that we called this Alien in the Ice. Dan O'Bannon makes the Alien franchise. I mean, it's interesting. And just how much, again, Ridley Scott was like, well, I was just making Halloween in space. And you're like, God, these guys at this time are all
inspired by each other.
I love Stephen King. Stephen King,
Stephen
David
King.
Lynch, John Carpenter, the guys who are making these movies at this time.
The
It's this
boys.
big stew. It's all these
Yeah.
people who are making kind of the same weird stuff that that just it catches my eye, and that I'm like, shit, I've never seen something like that before.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
by the way, in The Fog, John Carpenter's The Fog, Tom Atkins' character's name is Dan O'Bannon.
Oh,
Or actually, I'm sorry, Charlie Cypher's character name is Dan O'Bannon. Charlie Cyphers, who plays the sheriff in Halloween, of course, also is in The Fog, and he plays a character named Dan O'Bannon, the weatherman.
is Tom Atkins? Is he the priest?
No, that Hal Holbrook is the priest. Tom
Hal
Atkins
Holbrook,
is like the
okay.
truck driver guy that meets up with Jamie Lee Curtis, and they're kind of like the romantic
Probably been
couple.
10 years since I've seen The Fog.
It's not that good, unfortunately. Like it's an interesting idea, but it just doesn't work for me too well.
The opening scene where it's the campfire.
Yeah,
I fucking love that scene, dude.
that's good. Yeah, there's some good atmospheric stuff in there, but it's strangely like kind of meandering. Like it has pacing problems.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's almost nothing going on in that movie. When you're like, it's pirate ghosts. Like I know that we did an entire series where we talked about pirate ghosts, and it's not a silly idea, but in that movie, it's a silly idea.
It's a ghostly revenge tale, but yeah, it has good atmosphere and a fun cast. It has like 5 actors from Halloween in it, so you can watch that movie and see everyone that was in Halloween.
Sorry, I have to stay on tangents like this, but Jacob, did you ever see the remake starring Tom Welling, aka Superman?
Smallville's Clark Kent. Yeah, that was a really bad movie. That was the
Mike,
Fog remake is much
seen
worse
either
than
one.
the Thing
Yeah.
prequel. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the worst like legacy remakes that I've seen. I think The Fog. Like,
have you ever seen Ghosts from Mars?
No.
That's one I've never seen. That's one of his 90s movies that's not super well loved. He had some big bombs in the 90s, John Carpenter, and he basically stopped making movies and made his last movie in, I want to say like 2008, The Ward.
Yeah, he just did a TV show for Peacock or something that people didn't like, The Neighborhood or something it was called.
Right. Oh, The Ward 2010, Ghost of Mars 2001, starring Ice Cube. Yeah.
Well, the main thing I was about to say, Randy Brooks, the reason we saw that in theaters was he was such a fucking Jason Statham fan.
Ah, sure.
No.
Ghosts of Mars. I want to say that's about ghosts on Mars.
Pirate Ghosts of Mars?
You can't believe how bad it is.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
The 90s were not great for John Carpenter.
No.
I mean, you had Village of the Damned with Christopher Reeve, Escape from LA, which I kind of like. It's fun, but it's not a good movie.
It's pretty bad.
Some really bad CG in that movie. Some, early computer generated effects in the 90s, not great. Vampires with James Woods, not a great movie.
Well, with Terry Silver. Excuse me.
Oh,
that's
right.
right.
I want to see it. I have to watch that one.
Thomas Ian Griffith as the vampire.
The vampire, Valak or whatever his name is.
Valak, that's right. You have James Woods and Daniel Baldwin, one of Alec Baldwin's brothers, playing vampire hunters. Yeah.
Wow.
Starring A. Baldwin as. Did you say Adam Baldwin? Like. I said Daniel Baldwin.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
I was just hit by another legacy of The Thing that has been fairly popular in recent years. Among Us. It's kind of like a Thing vibe. Are you the thing?
Yeah. I'm sure they'll make an Among Us movie at some point where it'll be like, look, Zoomers, we made the thing that you like.
Chicken jockey.
No, but really, we need to get the Zoomers to just watch The Thing because it's Among Us, the movie. It's already done. Yeah.
Right.
I love The Faculty. I love these others.
Yes.
It's so interesting. Where would you put it if you could do one? Like the Wild West, or
an alien possessing people movie.
Like we always do with The Predator, where we're like, why don't they do Predator meets
Samurai?
Yeah, The Faculty is so good because it's like a school system. It's kind of like a satire of like public education or whatever. So that's kind of fun.
I'm gonna watch that before our Spooktacular.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch The Faculty. I'm in this
Good, dude.
mode for this genre. I don't know where I would put one though. Old West. Would you have any
Yeah, let me
ideas,
think.
Colin, where you put one of these?
I guess just a prison. That would kind of be interesting,
Prison.
right? That's kind of
Oh.
the
Yeah.
Alien 3, but if
Yeah,
you dropped it
Right.
in like a hellhole, I would be curious to see what the relationships would be.
It's like a prison colony planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just lands in there.
What
Yeah,
about
the
like
Alien
1,000
3.
years in the future, and Winona Ryder is like an android in there too?
Yeah, what
Jason X style or Jason? Yeah,
Yeah.
in space.
Yeah, oh, Jason X.
Jason
Remember when
X.
Hellraiser went to
best.
space too? That was crazy.
You got to go to space at some point in your horror franchise. That's the
on.
thing.
Do the prequel of the thing with it fucking up that spaceship before the pilot decides I must crash this, McCreary style.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny if you just every thing movie that they make is just a prequel of the last one. So like that
Yeah.
2011 thing was a prequel, and then you got to make a
And then we do
prequel
the
of that,
spaceship,
and then make a
then we do
prequel
before
of
that.
that.
You're saying my grant money has been secured for funding for 5 years from now for an
The
expedition?
Norwegian
Well, I guess I'll
science.
work on my paperwork for 5 years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Or you have a Wayland Yutani ship, and one of the aliens is the thing, along with the
Oh.
eyeball, the octopus eyeball, right? That's there.
Yeah, Alien
Um,
Earth, that's right.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was our soft launch of
Yeah.
spooky season.
That's right. We've already
Yeah.
talked about that, of course. Alien Earth.
Certainly. And
Totally
I
talked
was
about it.
certainly there too.
Yep.
You were there. You loved it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I love
the
this
thing.
movie. Good pick, Jacob.
Great pick.
I think it's hard to do it justice because there's just so many good lines and good moments. You know, like if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, even if you have seen it, watch it again, listeners, because it's a treat.
Well,
It's a
I'm nervous
classic.
because we're maybe saying goodbye to John Carpenter, but maybe not, because you are talking about how much you love Prince of Darkness. You know how much
Yeah.
you're thinking about maybe
Mhm.
keeping him around.
I might want to do Prince of Darkness
Christine,
next year. So
Just-
fun.
he's
Christine
the
is good.
king, man.
Yeah. He's the king. He's the master of horror. Would you say Stephen King is the master of horror, or John Carpenter?
Stephen King never directed an episode of Masters of Horror, so I think John Carpenter has him there.
That's true, but he's the master of written horror.
Hmm.
On the page.
And the master of getting his works adapted. But John Carpenter.
My
and
master of horror, Max Landis.
Oh, boo.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
I always thought it's interesting that, of course, John Carpenter most known for his horror movies, but didn't only do horror, of course. I
No.
mean, he did Big Trouble in Little China. He did Starman. Like he did try to break out from horror and do different things.
I've heard from other podcasters, but if you go see his concert series with Cody, the way that he introduces all the films is he says like a little blurb. At one point he goes, "This next song is from the only romantic comedy I ever directed. It's called Starman." And it just like goes right into it, and you're like,
That's
yeah.
I would love to go see him in concert and just he plays all his like old scores and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
And I think they released an album of like all of his like themes remixed and stuff with his son and with another guy that he does music with. And they kind of have a little band, and so check out his soundtracks album.
I
Pretty
would
cool
give
stuff.
anything to smoke weed with him. I just think that, like, can you imagine what he rambles about? I'm sure it's a lot of like, and then I should have made this, and they owe me this, and like that would get old after a little while. But also, if you could just be like, yeah, but the Knicks, and he's like, the Knicks.
That's the other thing. He loves basketball. He loves the Golden State Warriors. Actually,
Oh, is that
from
his team, the
California.
Golden State
Okay.
Warriors? Yes,
Yeah.
you'd have something there, Jacob. You'd be like, but the Golden
We-
State Warriors.
We have a lot of common interests. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like we would. I mean, he's like 80 years old, but I think we would
Yeah.
have a good time hanging.
He would
out.
not get up from the recliner he was in the whole time you were sitting with him. And at one
Yeah.
point, he would be like, "Go to the kitchen and get me a sandwich," and I'd be like, "Yeah, you got it." And I would like
For
be
sure,
putting
boss.
together a
I would
sandwich
do anything
while
he asked.
listening to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just he just hangs out, watches basketball, plays video games. It's always funny because he has a Twitter account that he occasionally tweets some stuff, not very often, but it's always interesting to see what he's tweeting about. A lot of times it's like he's playing in the video games that he's into. It's like not what you would expect. Like he
likes
tweets
Gears of
about
War.
like Gears of War or like the new Halo DLC or something. When Halo Infinite was coming out, he was very excited about that. I'm like,
And then
wow, John Carpenter loves Halo.
when there's people who are like but this thing is clearly inspired by you. Dead Space. You should play these. Really.
I don't
He's
care
always
about
like, he's always like, I don't know. Like that sounds like dumb. And then like again, he'll be like, but the chainsaw's on the gun, and you're like, yeah, but
Yeah.
Oh, what a character!
What a character. He's a guy.
I miss him. He's probably dead by the time this comes out.
No.
No, he'll live forever. I mean, look, we already lost David Lynch recently.
Yeah.
We can't lose John Carpenter. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy.
Do you
Don't get
think
COVID.
if this
Yeah.
is the one half of my favorite directors, do you think we would ever talk about David Lynch in an episode?
I think
Well, when we
so.
do our long form where we cover every David Lynch movie and we talk
Every
about
Twin Peaks
Inland
episode?
Empire, yeah.
Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me.
No, right?
I don't know if it's really Normies material because it's
I
very
don't think so.
unnormy.
I
I
think
mean,
John
maybe
Carpenter is.
Mulholland Drive or Blue
Yeah.
Velvet, maybe are his most normie accessible, or Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks: The Return. I never watched, but I heard it's
No.
really good.
Twin Peaks, I think
You like
make
The
an argument
Return,
for.
Colin, right?
I love all of it. It's just but I agree
People
with you. I
say
don't
The
think it's
Return is
normie.
like the greatest television show of the last 20 years.
Yeah, it is.
Well, someone
It's
hasn't seen
great.
the King of the Hill reboot.
Yeah, check it out.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if we would ever cover David Lynch
Yeah.
on this podcast just because he's so. I mean, talk about normies like us. He's like the least normie that you can get.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's talk about The Straight Story or something.
we'll do a Cleveland show episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He loved being in a voice in the Cleveland show
great. That's how we get him.
where he played himself as like a bartender, I believe, Colin.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He just loved doing voice
10
acting
years.
for the Cleveland show.
Yeah, well, he liked the paycheck. I'll give it that.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Well, not to hijack anymore. This is your episode, Jacob. We're wrapping up.
That's
It's
right.
our third of Spooktober. Our next
That's
one,
right.
we go right into the Spooktacular.
We sure do. I mean, it's so late in October, you guys. I can't even believe
I know.
the
The
dates.
fall
that
leaves
it
are
is right
falling
now.
off the palm
The world
trees.
is normal. Things have stayed normal. We're all allowed out. We're allowed to celebrate Halloween, of course. We're not under some sort of government lockdown.
No.
There's no tanks
right.
like in our yards or anything.
We've all been we're under military guard after the Charlie Kirk initiative to lock down all of Antifa in their homes. None of that is happening, probably. But no, yeah, we're coming to the end of Spooktober. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Another year.
Another
The
year.
king's coronation is soon. King Trump will be coronated. Isn't that interesting? All
Yeah.
hail.
Mhm.
Uh,
It is,
no, I'm looking forward to the Spooktacular. I've been watching my spooky movies, trying to get to 31 or whatever it
The
is.
world
so-
is scary. The movies are scarier.
preparing ourselves
That's
for the
right.
horrors that await. That similar to the Red Scare with body snatching and stuff. Are you a commie? Like, are you a socialist? Are you the
Are
thing?
you Antifa? Are you
Yeah.
the president of Antifa?
See, and this is the
Colin?
thing. I have no fear of being replaced. I'm just scared of being erased. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so positive pretty soon we will be taken to secret prisons.
That's the
Well, we've got, we live in the great state of California, and we have Gavin Newscomb, our governor, who will protect us, I'm sure. Gavin Newscomb. We love him, folks.
Bernie Moreno will hand me over.
Oh no.
That's right. I forgot. You do not live in the great state of California anymore. You live in the hellhole of Ohio.
Oh jeez. Good night.
No, we love Ohio, folks. Go
Love Ohio,
Cavs.
go Cavs. Yep. Donovan Mitchell. You ever heard of him?
He's goat.
Yep.
But
Spooky.
the thing,
That's the
Spooktacular.
thing.
One hell of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got our Spooktacular next week. We got some great episodes coming up in November that I'm excited for.
Back to Miyazaki in
Um,
November eventually.
That's right. We're back to Miyazaki, Spirited Away. Oh no, I'm sorry, Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
I'm gonna look because I did have. I was gonna announce something.
Big
Something.
surprises.
Something. Oh, we've got another Whatcha coming up. We've got Peacemaker season 2. Boy, we've been loving that show.
How
Maybe.
close are we to 400? What are we at now?
This is
We're at
360
360 something.
That's
370 will be the next watch.
367.
That's
Well, I can announce this for November. We're going to be covering a new movie. Predator Badlands comes
is that
out in
true?
November.
All right.
I'm so excited to hear that.
So get ready for that.
Yeah, horror adjacent too.
It'll be a lot of
there
fun.
we go. All right.
Yeah.
I look forward to the Spooktacular. I'm still trying to get another couple movies
course.
in there.
Yeah. We already talked to Alien Earth. So you heard all our thoughts, and we won't repeat them here.
No, I won't repeat them. Go listen to that episode.
Yeah.
It's definitely been recorded.
That's right. We're not recording these out of order at all.
We hope, listeners, you are getting ready for the Spooktacular 2. You can reach out to us at Normies_like_us. We want to see those Halloween lists. Did you do the 31 Days of Halloween? That's what we're going to be reading on our next episode. We're going to be telling you how many movies we watched this year, what we got through, what our sort of vibe was. Does anybody recall that last year Jacob did 40 vampire movies or something like that? What was his theme?
I always try to do a
Get
theme.
ready.
Yeah, I did. I've done Nightmare Before Chris. No, I've done Nightmare on Elm Street. I've done. No, I haven't done that, have I? I've done Halloween. I've done. What have I done? Jason. I've done Hellraiser. So I need another long form theme for this. We'll find out what it is next week. I don't know.
Mike's done every J horror, every K horror we can do. You're probably doing what? Zombies this year, it seemed like maybe?
Yeah. We've done The Grudge, then we did all the Ring movies. This year it seems a lot more zombie focused. 4 of my movies are versions of Dawn of the Dead, and then did like the Return of the Living Dead side of that branch. So a lot of zombies, I think, right now.
Yeah, I would say
your favorite last year, Final Cut of the Dead.
Final Cut of the Dead, yeah. Oh man, One Cut of the Dead's incredible.
One Cut
Speaking of zombies.
One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah, that's. Whew.
So far, my year, it's been much more random, scattered, various horror movies. But we'll see if I can put together a theme or something.
And this is, of course, my 8th year doing this list. And as I alternate, last year I ended on the 7th film in the Halloween franchise, H2O. This year, I, of course, get to kick off my list with Halloween Resurrection, baby. The greatest Halloween film of all time.
one of my least favorite, if not the worst one. Is it the worst one? Yeah. I mean, I don't probably will say Rob Zombie, but I think it's worse than the Rob Zombie.
It does have is it Coolio kicking Michael Myers?
That ties in because that one has Janet Leigh.
That's
ties
right.
In Psycho, right?
Oh my gosh,
right.
it all ties.
Old Janet Leigh.
This thing goes all the way to the top.
That's right. But I do want to say, I always love doing these Spooktober movies every year with you guys. Another year of great selections. I feel like we need like a pantheon of all the different movies we've covered over the last few years. We need to like put together just a list of like the classics, like the 3 that we pick every year.
Good trio.
We did
Candyman,
Body Snatchers, and The Shining last year.
Body Snatchers.
I still think about Candyman a lot, honestly.
Candyman was great. Yeah.
The
we've done this
Candyman was
how many years now? This is our 4th year of like doing this format of picking 3 movies and then the Spooktober or Spooktacular.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we're at the compile list. I'm gonna have to go through old episodes and like because we're picking some classics here, and these are like some must watch before you die.
It's a must watch list. All these selections for the past couple of years for sure.
I would shout out my favorite of all time is our found footage episode, and then the editing Mike did in our Evil Dead episode when it's just me and Joe on that one, and then at the end you hear us open the book and like get sucked into like hell. Basically.
Yeah,
really cool effect. So listen to those old ones. Those are like season 1 episodes, I think. Maybe.
Oh man, I wasn't even alive then.
No, I
wasn't even born. I was just a little baby. Yeah, like you said, a couple weeks ago, we have now an episode. You could watch an episode or listen to an episode every single day of the year, and then start it all over again when you get to the new year.
That's right.
Which I know you want to, so do it.
And eventually, we'll hit like episode 700. Can't wait for that.
You'll hit that.
It'll be about our favorite AI
recorded at my grave
propaganda film.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. Any final thoughts on Spooktober, on the thing? We'll do our Spooktacular next week, of course. Looking forward to that.
Love it.
I didn't love the J&B And
Oh,
if I
not your
stumbled on some words,
spirit
that's
of
probably
choice.
because of this. But shout out to McCready.
What's it taste like?
Gas.
It's a rye. It's a
Kind
whiskey.
of,
It's a
it's kind of
blended-
rough.
It's
kinda
just
rough
like a
going
blended
down.
whiskey. Yeah, it's a little. It's all right.
I've never been a big whiskey guy. I've never been a big straight liquor guy. I'm not masculine enough to be just drinking straight whiskey.
Non-alcoholic.
McCready's got the beard for it. I do like whiskey, but nah,
Yeah,
it is what it is. I just want to do it for the bit.
right. No, yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. You should be wearing like a parka and stuff and
I
just be like
wish
freezing.
I had a crazy cowboy hat. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
No, great movie, great pick. One of the greatest to ever do it.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, make sure you check us out on YouTube and check out us out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next week. We've been your host. This is John Carpenter.
This is Mike Creedy.
This is
Jing.
Jay Iles. Jay
Oh,
Iles.
Jay
Yeah.
Iles.
Giles.
I like the jing.
The Jing. That's me.
All right, well, I don't trust any of you guys, so why don't we just sit here and see what happens?
That's right.
All right.
Slowly freeze to death.
But I do trust the listeners, so like, share, and subscribe, so we'll catch you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.